We recording? Say, hey, what's up, YouTube? What's up, VOD people? So this is a good chance to jump into what we're going to be going over today. It's basically three things. One, I'm going to show you guys the new sneak meter. That was the thing that took me just so much longer than I anticipated. Two, I'm going to show you some screenshots of Lizzy's work on the jobs update, specifically the Missives. It's insane, I'm telling you. And three, we are going to go over some of your mod suggestions like we were in the last stream. And I think it's going to be a good time. Lizzy went and organized the Trello so that we have like a separate category for mods that we've looked at versus, you know, like mods that need additional, what's the word I'm looking for? Looking at, I guess. Evaluation. Nodens, that is specifically something that I have left out. Because, one, I think it makes it too easy. And two, from a simulation standpoint, imagine this. Now, keep in mind, I have no clue if Skyrim's lockpicking is, like, realistic. I have no clue if it's realistic in the sense that your lockpicks just fucking break like this all the time. I've picked a lock before. I feel like every kid attempts to do that at some point. Yo, Twiz! Oh my god, thank you for gifted subs. Jesus, dude, you've gifted 27 subs in this channel. That's fucking wild. That's my boy Tyler, for any of you who don't know. Tyler and I are actually going to... Well, we're trying to decide. We both got our Steam Deck reservation notifications, like, at the same time. And we're sitting here like, fuck, are we gonna get this thing? You went for it? Oh, shit. Well, now I gotta get it. Yo, congrats, man. Consult with lockpicking lawyer. That is very true, Halgari. He would know. What's the history of lockpicking? That's the part I don't know. Anyway, what I can say, we'll just say for the sake of conversation, that if lockpicking in, you know, ancient times or whatever does actually, if your lockpicks like break like this, you would have to, I mean, you have some degree of like muscle memory, I guess, but you would have to put it back in and then re-find the same spot, I would assume. So yeah, that's what I always thought. Ekutruan, hopefully I'm saying that. Yeah, Skyrim lockpick, I mean, there's obviously different kinds of locks. I remember oh my god, I've not thought about this for so long, but Jesus, Tyler, actually, if you're here, this was when I was still living in Oak Park. One time, I had the brilliant idea as like an 8-year-old to try and pick the lock on my bathroom door. And my mom wasn't home. And, you know, brilliant young me decided to lock the door from the inside and then close it while I was on the outside, you know, so I could pick the lock. I think you guys can probably figure out where this story is going. I was not able to pick the lock, and then it occurred to me in a flash that, oops, now we can't get into the bathroom. And I remember my mom coming home, and she was like, why is the bathroom locked? And, like, I was a fucking little liar at the time, and I was like, oh, you know, like, gee, I don't know. Children. Yeah, Oblivion lockpicking is pretty... That's what I thought it would be like, somewhat. I must have, yeah, I must have played something like Splinter Cell with lockpicking or whatever. It's just very strange to me that the lockpicks in Skyrim just kind of snap the way they do. But, summarily, no, I probably will not add that mod because I like to make it... It's just too easy as it is. Requiem makes it harder, but it's still not that hard, and so I wouldn't add anything that makes it even easier, is kind of my take. I enjoy the minigame well enough. Anyway, what are we... Before I get ahead of myself here, there was something I wanted... Oh yeah, I wanted to click this... What's this mod? Cisco. Also, anyone... This is kind of a deeper cut. Does anyone know what song this is? Yo, thank you for the hype train, y'all. Much appreciated. Hell yeah. Requiem of the Vampire. Here, I'll bring this over. Well, okay. So here's what we're going to do today. We're doing the sneak meter. We're doing Lizzy's updates. And then we're going to be looking at the mods. So I'll probably save this. I'll look at this one real fast. But I'm really excited to show off the sneak meter because I've been working very hard on it. And it's so fucking difficult to mess with Skyrim's interface, I'm telling you. Is there a mod that changes it to the Oblivion lockpicking? I don't think so. Not that I know of. Oh shit, this is a... TX... Actually, I'm afraid to open up people's profiles. Okay, no, we're good. I know this creator. Vampirism Overhaul. Positive effects. Oh yeah, but so if anyone knows... What did you do, Charmed Berry? Are you kidding me? What is it like? How do you edit it now? Because that is extremely appealing to me. What the hell? Wait a second. Requiem makes lockpicking broken. Well, you should not... Well, okay. Which version are you playing on, Ecutruan? In progress system uses quick widgets, including Qt web engine, DUI normal. Holy shit. The current version, like 1.1.5, because if you are, you shouldn't even be able to attempt picking locks. Or wait, no, fuck. That fix is not out yet. Oh, well, okay, you're good. Well, you're not going to be able to do that anymore in 1.1.6 because there actually is a feature in Requiem where it's supposed to kick you out of the... I'm assuming when you go to lockpick something, does it hit you with a message saying you can't attempt this, but then it lets you attempt it anyway? Am I in the ballpark? That's crazy, by the way, Charmbarian. Like, I can't believe that. That would be so... It is such a pain in the ass, and there have been so many attempts. I know I've said this in other streams, but there have been so many attempts to make editing the interface, like, not horrible. The closest I feel like anyone's gotten... There's, like, the kind of end-user-facing stuff, like MoreHUD... Sorry, not MoreHUD. SkyHUD and Less Intrusive HUD for just generally moving shit around. But that's just the HUD, right? That's not the whole interface. Excuse me. And that's also... You're limited in what you can do there. You can only kind of adjust the things they let you adjust. Even for the HUD. It's just a huge pain in the butt. Intermix scale form. That would be an issue. Programmer. Yes. I mean, I know Charmbarian is capable of doing insane things. Actually, Khajiit with the tower has enough expertise. Wait, from level 1 with the tower, you were able to have enough expertise to attempt master locks. You're kidding me. That would certainly require some nerfing. You may regret telling me that. Well, anyway, that shit's wild. I would love... I mean, I feel like you've got so much stuff going with Fudge and just your work that is gonna kind of... has the potential to revolutionize so much stuff we can do. I'm really excited. Alright, well, I'm gonna... Here, let me put this over yonder. I'm gonna put these... Actually, let's get this. Put it back in my window here. I'm so paranoid with the Nexus now. Right? Because you never know what the hell you're gonna open up and see. Alright, y'all. Okay, anyone, just because this is fun for me, anyone have any idea what song this is, or what this is from? And while you answer that, I'm gonna go ahead and launch the game. So let's take a look at... Thank you very much, Lizzy. Let's take a look at... I would just very much like to show this off because I worked really hard on it and it took me way fucking longer than I anticipated, so if I didn't get to show it off, I would cry. But I'm really happy with how it turned out. I'll tell you guys about the whole journey. This is the sneak meter that I'm talking about. Hey, what's up, Liam? Styling webcon CSS. Oh my god, yes. Like, being able to work with typical web content tools would just be so much better. What's up, John? Khajiit the Tower, 1 perk in lockpicking. Gotcha. Yes, it absolutely does break the balance, I imagine. Damn, well, that's probably got to get a nerf. I mean, either way, we're probably going to reevaluate a lot of the birth sign stuff anyway in the future. Nice, Nodens. That's not easy. Conjugation. Conjugation and destruction. I love the idea of conjugation as a school of magic, right? You didn't miss anything, Liam. We were just hanging out, and the schedule for today is to check out the new sneak meter, check out Lizzy's Missives updates, which I'm really excited to show off. I'm going to be showing off images, still images, not the actual plugin right now because it's still, you know, in progress. And then we're going to be looking at mod suggestions from people. My conjugation skills, yes. Not easy. Should be a skill, right? Alright, by the way, this song, I don't know if you guys can even hear it. I have it pretty low. I really like this song a lot. I'm just gonna, you know, we'll just bop for a second. If anyone gets this, I don't actually know how to gift subs from here. I need to figure that out. I'm actually gonna overhaul my stream a little bit. I'm gonna try, once again, streaming to both YouTube and Twitch at the same time, and hopefully merging the chats as well. Is that something you can still do? Yeah, French conjugation is pretty tough. My wife was trying to teach me it for a while, well, while we were in France, and you know, it's certainly cool. It is not Fate Zero. Good guess though, John. This is actually Bloodstained Ritual of the Night, which is the latest Metroidvania title by Igarashi, the producer, lead designer, I believe he's the lead designer, on pretty much all of the best, everyone's favorite Metroidvanias from the Castlevania series. This is the first level song from Bloodstained. And Bloodstained was kickstarted, if any of you are aware of that whole thing. And it's getting a sequel soon. It was good. It was like Bloodstained, and to be clear, I'm talking about like the full 3D game, right? Not the really cool, like kind of NES style classic homage that they did with Inti Creates. Yes, Koji Igarashi. That game was, I really like Bloodstained a lot. And this song is composed by the original Castlevania composer. She is like a goat for sure. What's her name? I think it's, hold on. Michiru. I don't know if it's Yamane or Yamane. One of the two. I don't know how to pronounce that. It's my weeb. Alright, y'all. Let's blast this desktop audio. And remind me that I've turned the audio up so you can hear Skyrim, because if we go back to music, I'm going to accidentally burst your eardrums. I've done it before, and I will do it again if you don't remind me, because I will not remember. Alright, y'all. I think, let's see where's like a good spot. Also, if the enemy health bars are fucked up, don't worry about it, because I was doing some fun little experimentation this morning, and I'm pretty sure I forgot to revert it. So I'm gonna stand up. Let me just see if they're fucked up.
What was that?
Blah, 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 blah. Come on. Over here! God, wait, please. Yep, it's fucked up. Aw, oh, man, I can't see if it's working, though. Because it's... that's really annoying. You see the thing at the very top of the screen? That's the bar that I'm swapping it in with, and it's just high up enough to where I can't see if the fill is working. It might actually be, which would be pretty fucking cool. But, you know what? We'll worry about that in a little bit. So, let me give you my whole spiel, right? My pitch. So, y'all know that I've been really kind of going over the HUD and changing a bunch of stuff here, right? It's fun for me. I like interface design, and there's just, you know, some cool stuff I feel like we could do. And you might also remember that I was not allowed to work on this until I finished all of the bugs from 1.1.6. So I did that. Now the team has very graciously allowed me to indulge myself by working on the HUD. I am also at the same time working on getting, you guys will be the first to know this, I suppose. You deserve to be, because you're here for the stream. I'm gonna get the 1.1.6 build out to the team ASAP, and then they're gonna test it, assuming everything is, you know, good to go. Then, you know, I mean, at that point, that'll be release time. and then it'll be full speed ahead on finishing everything up for the jobs update and the religion and all that other stuff that everyone's excited about, or at least I'm excited about. And yeah, so you don't remember giving permission? Well, you know, as far as I remember, the agreement was that I can only work on this stuff once the other things are done. And, you know, they're done. So this is how I rewarded myself. Anyway, here's my elevator pitch. So the vanilla sneak meter, I'm pretty sure we're all familiar. I think it's cool. For one thing, it's very smooth. It's exactly 100 frames long. I know that because of the work that I've done on this. It's, how do I put it? I think it's a cool idea, right? The idea of this eyeball, you know, indicating your sneak status. It's cute. There are a couple issues that I hoped to address with this new design. The first issue, probably the easiest one to kind of explain, is that it's cumbersome and kind of in your face. It's very unimmersive, we'll say, subjectively, of course. The normal sneak meter is, of course, tied to the crosshair. It's right in the center of your screen. It's fairly big, and it's very opaque. You can't really see through it. So you just, I don't know, it's almost like obnoxious. It just takes up so much screen real estate. It's cool that it's right there in terms of eye travel. I like that component. But I don't need it to be that close, you know what I mean? And again, I think you've got an issue when the meter is obscuring elements that you kind of are trying to see, especially if you're trying to make some sort of very long sniper shot or something. So that's an issue, right? We've kind of solved that issue, quote unquote, by moving the sneak meter. Any Wildlander players will know that I moved the sneak meter to the kind of just above the health bar in the center of the screen. It's out of the way enough that, you know, it's not obstructing your view or harming your precious immersion, but it's close enough to where you still don't have to, you know, the whole eye travel philosophy is not, it's completely fine. Like, you only have to look down a little bit. So that problem is kind of solved. That brings us to the other, probably bigger core issue with the sneak meter. Because the sneak meter starts as just this, you know, little horizontal line. In fact, here, let me make I can illustrate this with a beautiful Microsoft Paint drawing, which is my favorite thing to do. Let's bring one up here. Okay. We'll just use like an oval here. So here's a big issue with the sneak meter. Because it just kind of opens up as you progressively become more and more detected, and because there's no outer bounds on what 100% detection looks like, the game kind of requires you to get used to just where 100% sneak is, if that makes sense. I'll demonstrate what I mean here. So let's say, for the sake of conversation, that's 0% detected. You're completely hidden, right? This is, we'll call it, you know, let's do here, 75% detected, we'll say. I have not played Scum, but I have heard of it. It looks intriguing to me, right? So this is 75% detected, right? This, let me see if I can do this, is 100% detected. And that's a problem, because you don't, like, at a glance, the difference between like 75%, 80%, 85%, it's really, like, at a glance you don't know how close you are to being detected. And this is a big problem in a game where the way that detection works is that the second you're detected, any of the enemies within the range of the detection now immediately know where you are and are now immediately trying to kill you. in the case of, let's say, a ranged enemy or like a caster, there are like frames. Like you get like 5 frames between you becoming detected and that mage fucking tossing a one-shot fireball. Of course, this is, Wildlander Requiem balance. You have such little time to react in that small window, and that's a big problem as far as I see it. It's always bothered me. It's something that I've wanted. Again, stylistically I like what they did. Functionally, I think there's an issue. The way that they tried to, you can tell that this occurred to them. I'm actually very curious. I would love to talk to the HUD designers to see if what I think happened. I believe this occurred to them because that's why we get this. Detected, right? I'm gonna make this, here's where paint kind of sucks. It does not like bigger even. 72, that's what I'm talking about. That might be too big. No, whatever. I mean, it doesn't really matter. 66. It's approximate. Somewhere around there, right? So what happens in Skyrim's default sneak meter design is that when you are at 100% detection, it hits you with this big fucking text box that says detected. My guess is that this was their attempt to... It's almost like someone said, oh shit, I'm not sure this visually communicates well enough that they've now entered the fully detected state. We need something to fix that, right? So I feel like that's where this text came from, or it was part of the original design to begin with. I really can't say. That would be interesting. I would be surprised, but whatever. Designers are wild. So this is not horrible. It's not great either, because I think if a big fucking eyeball in the center of your screen or wherever on your screen is immersion breaking, then certainly a giant text saying detected or hidden is also a problem in that vein, right? It also does not, again, solve the problem of knowing how close you are to... So, like, regardless of, this being the thing that alerts you to the fact that you're detected, that's an important component, but it still doesn't help you understand how close you are to that, that 99 to 100% threshold is important. You need to know exactly when that's going to happen. And I guess maybe you don't in vanilla Skyrim, because it's like, who fucking cares? This game is not hard to begin with, right? But whatever. These are the problems. So these are the issues that I've tried to solve with this design, and I will show you how it works, right? Also, let's see, it went for sleekness. Now that you pointed out, it really is a problem. I'm not sure everyone will agree, but I think so. From a design perspective, it seems to be an issue to me. Yes, of course, you could do the Metal Gear Solid. UI barely has an understandable health bar. That's so true, Barian. I've always found it so strange how they did the, health bar coming in from both sides. Like, I get it. They're going for, like, this symmetrical business where, the bar on the left fills up right, I guess you would say, and then the inverse for the right side, and then the health is in the middle. That's why we've changed it. Someone asked a good question. Is there a mod that puts the detection meter above enemies' heads? I don't know if there is. The closest thing that I know to that would be the detection meter mod, which is like, it's a cool attempt at solving this, right? It kind of resembles what I understand to be like the Ubisoft games, where like you kind of have this circle in the center, and it kind of points to like where the enemies are that are detecting you. So that's the closest thing I know of to like an individual by the enemy like detection bit. And I think it's cool, but it doesn't really feel like it's for me. I feel like it's kind of got that same issue of, I don't personally find it super immersive. I kind of find it like jarring. So that's why I didn't opt for it. But clearly there's some cool ideas going on there. Right? So yes, and then of course, as Monique says, it is so Ubisofty that it's a cool design. I respect it. It's not the kind of thing that personally I would go for. I'll show you guys what I would go for instead, right? And the other issue, like, let's say we had in a perfect scenario, we can put the detection above enemies' heads. That's an interesting idea too, but for me, I think it's the same reason why I don't put the true HUD bars above people's heads, right? I think it's super cool. It's crazy to me that it's possible, and that I believe that true HUD is Ursh. That Ursh managed to do it. I think it's really cool, and I know a lot of people really like the floating health bars and that kind of thing. It's not really my style, because to me, it's like it's very video gamey. You know what I mean? It's it kind of, for me, it's like this immediate visual reminder that I'm playing a video game, versus what I kind of prefer for the HUD. Like, the HUD is like the inventory, or like so many components of the interface. These are abstractions of things the player would kind of know somewhat, right? Or that they at least, the character would know. Or they are representations, of things that the player needs to know by virtue of the limitations of the game's design. What I mean by that is, like, and there's some fixes for stuff like this, which I'm excited to get into. Let's take, for the sake of conversation, the enemy health bar, right? Or the enemy level is an interesting one. I'm going to be revisiting that in the future. But let's focus on the enemy health bar just for the sake of conversation. In vanilla Skyrim, it's kind of necessary to have the enemy health bar, even though you would not necessarily know as your character, like, how much health an enemy has. The reason I think that they put that there is because there is no functionality by default for you to, through any other means, parse how damaged your enemies are. The closest that we get is the bleed out state that occurs, right at when they have very low health. And this sort of works for vanilla, because of course vanilla, enemies and the player are damage sponges. You're each waggling your swords at each other for a long time with many different hits over the course of the combat. So the bleed out state is vanilla's attempt to do what I'm describing, which is giving you some sort of visual indicator that the enemy has taken damage and is in fact close to death. In something like Requiem or Wildlander, it doesn't really work the same way, because so many combat encounters are, 1, 2, 3 hits, if that. It's much more dangerous and mortal, and there's a big difference between 1 hit and 0 hits. Anyway, all of that is to say, you need the health bar because there's no visual indicator of enemy damage. There are mods that have tried to address this that I think are really cool and that will very likely be added. A good example of this would be, when Dynamic Animation Revolution, whatever DAR stands for, came out, and we had these conditional conditions for animations, it's like, holy shit, sky's the limit. And you can see all that. Like, I would call it 2021 like the year of the animators. So much crazy stuff, and it continues. You can see it's like, it is a revolution for real. But now we can have different visual states for the enemies based on how much health they have. So you see mods that are like, if you wound someone, if they're 70% health, they have a slightly different kind of movement animation or combat animation. You get them below 40 and they're like really hurting, and they're slow and whatever. So it's really cool from a readability standpoint, and it's really cool from a gameplay standpoint, because oftentimes you'll have, like, it's one of the weirdest, like, most subtly immersion breaking things in combat, even in Wildlander and Requiem. And if you've not noticed this, you might get mad at me for pointing this out to you. It's always, so Requiem adds the fear system, right? I think that's great, because not everyone that you're fighting, I know we're in Skyrim, and I know there's hella Nords, and everyone's, I'm going to Sovngarde, fight to the death, whatever. not everyone's going to do that, and I think I really like the realistic kind of reactivity of having enemies that run, right? They run away. So that's cool. So JJ's kind of got what I'm going to say here. And I can incorporate that. Here's the two immersion breaking bits. One, enemies don't flinch when you hit them. That one's obvious. That's, it's part of the animation that's being wonky. But here's the main one I was going to say. When you have mortally wounded an enemy to the point where they are willing to run away, in Requiem, this typically, at least the default tuning, which we keep, at least thus far, is that if you manage to hit someone and you deal, let's say, half of their health with like a sick-ass power attack, right? Usually they will turn and run away, unless the character is pretty brave. I think that's appropriate. Not everyone likes that, especially kind of people who are looking for intense challenges, which I understand. But to me, if the health bar is supposed to be an abstraction of our, like, I'm perfectly healthy, like as healthy as can be, or I am literally fucking dead, an attack that does, 55% of my health, we'll say, would certainly be enough to make me run away, personally, because that's like, hey, fuck, one more of those and I'm literally dead. Also, ow, I'm probably in, like, hella pain right now. I don't know if you guys, have any of y'all, I'm kind of telling on myself here from, my rambunctious youth. If you've ever been punched in the face, like, really hard, and especially if you've been punched, like, in the nose, let's call that, like, that's probably, that's bringing you down to, let's say, 85% health, and even that's probably generous. That shit hurts. That will literally that'll stun you to the point where you're just like, what the fuck is happening? It's gnarly. Like, getting physically hurt in the real world is a very gnarly experience. It's accompanied by so many different physiological changes. Your adrenaline spikes. You both feel the pain and sometimes don't because of the adrenaline. It's just all nuts. Anyways, long-winded way. I apologize. You guys caught me on a verbose day, apparently. When you attack these enemies in Requiem and you let's say I smack them and I get them down to 40%, they go, ah, and then they turn around and, like, run away at full speed. And it's really weird because it's like, bruh, I just cleaved your chest with a literal battle axe, and you're just like, oops, time to go, and you just kind of, like, run away, like, at full speed, right? It's just weird as shit, and when you notice that that's how it works, it's just kind of strange. Like, it's just so strange that I have to, like, chase after them, and it's, like, difficult for me to do this. Anyway. That's an issue, and it's solved by all of this. The original point that I was making was that sometimes you have elements. This is all an explanation of why I don't use, like, the True HUD health bars, if you can believe it. That's how tangential I get. I imagine you guys are aware of this by now. Hopefully it's not too annoying. So yeah, the HUD, we get the enemy health bar because we don't have, like, a means of abstracting this. I'm very glad that we will get stuff like that in the future. But the HUD to me is this, like, out of game, like, it's the same thing with the inventory. It's the same thing with the skills menu, the magic menu. They are not in the game. You know what I mean? They're not in the game world. They're an abstraction that exists out of game, we'll say, for the purpose of being able to interact with the game world as a player, not a character. The second, to me, you start putting in, and of course this is a general, like, there's exceptions, it depends, it's case to case, but when you start to put in these, like, little health bars that, like, track on the enemies, right? You know what I'm, like, the True HUD health bars, as cool as they are, and they really are cool, and they have so much cool functionality. To me, it's like we're now that distinction between, like, HUD and abstraction and, like, game world is starting to blur in a way that I find personally unpleasant for my personal immersion. It's like, oh shit, it kind of makes the HUD, or the health bar, feel like it's, like, part of the game world in a way to me, because it's going around, like, with the characters based on, like, where they go in the game world. It just, for me, it's weird, and it's not my personal cup of tea. I almost said bag of tea. Right? Yeah, or like an MMO. That's a good thingy. Yes. Okay, so all of that said, let's take a look at the sneak meter. So the reason, I mean, that was all an explanation as to why I don't put the sneak meter like on people's heads. I like to keep it as part of the HUD, and we're gonna hopefully try and solve all those problems that I mentioned before. So let's check it out, right? Let's minimize our beautiful. I saw someone say, for all the shit people talk on Paint, I sure use it a lot. That's true. I talk shit on Paint. You know what Paint is really good for? Is just making quick like copy paste or like edits or stuff, but it really does suck. If I have Photoshop open, I will use that instead. So let's check this out, y'all. I can't guarantee that this will be perfectly centered because I've been messing around with it. I hope it is. I think so. I think this is the build that I had that's centered. So you can see here, sneak meter, very bottom center of the screen. It's where it always was. I have redesigned it, taken some liberties. So this is what the sneak meter looks like when you are at 0% detection. Y'all will probably recognize where I am. I'm in Ember Shard Mine. I'm going to try and sneak here in a way that won't get me immediately caught so that we can, yeah, aren't we worried someone will wander in here? I might have waited a bit too long here. Let's see if this guy spots me at all. No, he's not going to. All right, we're going to reload so that we can get this scene. The classic scene. Aren't you worried someone will wander in here? I always loved that scene that they have here in Ember Shard. I mean, clearly they kind of expect it to be people's like first dungeon, I think. But it's funny. It's like a little bit of reactivity that they clearly programmed. Okay, so here we go. So I've got a little bit. I'm about 25%, a little bit less detected here. So you can see, hopefully it's already apparent. So here he goes, and boom. Now we are, please don't kill me. I don't know if no, I do. Okay. Here, you guys can just stay over there because I don't want you hitting me. So this is how the sneak meter works now. Hopefully it's obvious how it attempts to fix many of the problems that we mentioned before, right? The first obvious one is that you always know exactly how close you are to being detected. The other component is that it's both a color change, right, and it's animated, so that, you know, because you're going to be looking here primarily, right? You're like, oh shit, I'm really focused on sneaking, but you can still see that down there. It's part of the eye travel kind of design, right? You don't want to have to look too far. You kind of want to be picking it up in your periffs at least a little bit, and the animation plus the color change makes it easier, I think, to get it. And the color change, actually, I had originally designed this so that it would be like, here, I'm gonna kill these guys to reload. Thank you guys very much. I'm glad that you like it. I think subtle but working, is like, that's the goal of this design. I want it to be functional. I want it to be, you know, immersive, for lack of a better term. I guess subtle would be another one. Clearly we kind of go for like a somewhat minimalist aesthetic in our HUD design anyway. Also, I think I'm still floating. And so I wanted it to fit that. The original kind of format, or the original design that I had it doing, I'm going to get these guys to trigger it a little bit. So I had it originally where and this is, you know, neither here nor there, it's just, you know, if you're curious about the design process. I originally had it filling up completely white, and then the animation would be white as well. I actually ended up changing it because I found that, like, you need to know at a glance. I found that, like, look, the difference between, like, the white of I'm somewhat detected or fully detected if we kept it white, and the gray of, like, I'm not detected at all, is very communicable here because we're in the dark. And I've tried also, it's got like a little background. I can show you what it looks like. The other big issue is that this thing needs to be visually readable in a situation like this where I'm sneaking in a very dark area, and it needs to be readable, you know, in bright daylight snow where, you know, it's because that's the environments that Skyrim has. Is it centered? Let's see here. So yeah, anyway, just to finish that thought, I kind of thought that, like, if it stayed white, there wouldn't be that, at a glance, I want you to, again, know that you're detected. And the animation helps, but, like, there's not as much. And also, the animation bit here, it didn't look as visually discernible before. I kind of had to do some fuckery to get it to show up well. It's very subtle initially. How white-eye if you're detected by somebody who isn't. So I thought about that as well, Moors. One of the issues here, I would say this is an issue with this design, is that you'll notice here. I'm gonna kill all these fuckers. You're dead. And I hope, am I making sense? This like kind of difference between white and gray. I didn't want people to do this, like start sneaking, and then see that full circle and think, oh shit, like I'm detected right now, right? That was what I wanted to avoid, and the way to do that was with a color change. Here's kind of one of the issues, though, is that let's just go to, I don't know, fucking Riverwood. Can see, go back to original questions in your future. You know what? You might get those, Lizzy. And I suppose I can try and build out a way to do that. But you know what? I probably won't. I don't usually, some things I'm okay with forcing people into, clearly. Like, I know I started the big debate between C versus control for crouch. That one's a little bit different because people can just easily change it back if they like. This one's tougher, I understand that. So maybe I will bother to do that. But, you know, we'll see. So here's one of the issues, right, is that even if you're just in, you know, like a village, it's a little alarming the way that it's like red, right? Kind of makes you feel like you're about to be attacked. I did think about this and I was like, okay, is there a way for me to like differentiate based on, you know, whether, like you said, the enemies are hostile or if they are not? If there is a way to do that, I don't currently know how to do it. And it's just, I've already used so much, right, like time on this. This is missing scripts again. You should be getting a dragon lines. Oh, really? Missing scripts. It could, I mean, my version of Skyrim Unbound is like completely scuffed, Lizzy. It's because, I figured this out actually. I thought this was happening to all scripts, but apparently it's just like, the creation kit, I love the creation kit sometimes, I hate it other times. It does weird things that are annoying. It does some things that are cool, it does other things that are very annoying. Anytime you go to edit like a quest that has like dialogue fragments or like quest fragments, it'll like auto-generate new versions. The tents are missing. Yeah, okay, cool. Well, remind me, I don't really know what to do about this in terms of like me editing this. But, can you do me a favor and shoot me a message about that on Discord? I did mean to put, like, a little thing reminding me to replace Skyrim Unbound with the untouched version. But, you know, I can always use the reminder because I forget. Lizzy knows I forget. Thank you very much, Moors. I hope you guys like it. So this is, of course, like, you know, I just decided the compromise is to leave it red. I feel like the red in, you know, my thought process on maybe it's okay that it's red even when you're in town or whatever is, yeah, Jay, when that happened to you, I was like, oh, I know that shit. It's really fucking annoying. And it's destructive, too. I hate when programs do something destructive without telling you, or without giving you the option. It's just like, what the hell? Of course, it's because the CK like, Xedit is a tool that is, you know, you can use it to edit one mod at a time, and there's some ways to use it where it's like use a couple of mods and like kind of evaluate conflicts. That's like the method, as they call it. But it's designed to have you load a big old mod list into Xedit. You can edit all the stuff and see everything kind of conflicting and whatever. CK is meant to edit one mod at a time. The fact that I can load Wildlander into the CK, at least all of the dependencies that Wildlander.esp has, the fact that I can load it in there at all is a testament to the quality of the SSE, or sorry, CK fixes, right? But anyway, little warning, as a colorblind person, it's very hard to parse that color change. Near monochromatic, so maybe get another opinion on that. Okay, thank you for letting me know that, Liam. I will ask a couple people, or I'll subject it to some of those colorblind tests as well, because if necessary, I can change, you know, I mean, it doesn't have to be this shade of red. I can very easily change that. I actually, okay, again, before I get ahead of myself, the reason why I was like kind of okay with it being red in the villages is I figured, you know, most of the time when I'm sneaking, I'm doing something sketchy. The red still kind of visually communicates like, hey, if you try to steal or kill or whatever it is that you're doing, you know, bad stuff is going to happen, and red is bad, right? No problem, Liam. I really like the animation. I thought that's actually, so I can't take credit for the original kind of core concept of the implementation, or the animation. If y'all don't know this, this kind of like fade out animation is a component of the vanilla Sneak Eye. When you get to full detection, it does have this kind of like fade out thingy that is there by default. I tweaked it a fair amount, I remasked it, and I tried to give it more opacity. This was one of the big kind of motivators behind the color change part of the design, is that like, in fact, actually, I think I have a GIF of how it used to be. Give me like 2 seconds and I can show you guys. Discord, there we go. I think I posted it in our team general. Yada, yada, yada. Give me 2 seconds. Yes, got it. Okay, we're gonna open this, and we're gonna open this. So this was the sneak meter to begin with, right? It's pretty much identical, except you can see that the animation part, the fade, is a lot subtler. It's not horrible if you're in a dark area. This was an Embershard mine, but you can see on the snow, you can't see that shit hardly like at all, right? It's still kind of tough to see, I think, with this design. Like, we can go here, I can show you what it looks like in the snow. So it's not perfect, and maybe there's a way that I can continue to kind of like up the opacity or the communicability. I'm actually not, I'll have to see about it. Because I do want it to eventually fade out completely. I feel like that's part of like the smoothness. So let's, I think there's a wolf over here. Also, let's check if it's centered, shall we? Vampires are tough to play. They are, their default Requiem. So you can see here, it's much more visible than, you know, please don't. Ouch. Much more visible than it was before, so I think it's still fine. I think this is good. Compared to this, again. See, let it get to full. Come on, baby. By the way, screen to GIF. Excellent tool. So here, that's how it used to be. You can't see that shit at all, so I knew I needed to tweak that somehow. But yeah, I mean, that's basically the sneak wheel. And what was the thing I was going to say? Colorblind. Oh yeah, I just wanted to tell this story really fast. When Tyler and I first built out the original website for the first version of Ultimate Skyrim, back when it was just a massive fucking step-by-step guide, right? And at that point, because it was like step-by-step and people were kind of like individually downloading each thing, it was still possible to do stuff like, you know, having optional mods, right? So I had this, I had built out all of these like modules by hand. I think I've showed this off on stream before. I think we can look at it. In fact, the Wayback Machine might have the version that I'm talking about. The short version of the story is that the colors that I chose were apparently like horrible for colorblind people. Just absolutely ass. It was like light blue and like light pink. Something like that. And at that time, because of the way that we built it, it was, I didn't have a way to just like change the color. Like, we didn't build it into like a class or anything like that. I had to manually go back in and just like change the color of like each of these fucking things, and it sucked. Let's see, ultimateskyrim.bitballoon.com. Yes, that is also true, Moors. I didn't think about that. So I guess in theory, if we're somewhere where the lighting makes it very red, then this will still be tough to see, but you know, can't win them all. Let's see here, 2022, 2017. Damn, was that really 2017? Let's see. November. Let's see what it looks like here for fun. Yes, that makes perfect sense to me, Liam. Perhaps the wings could include it. So I tried that, Copper, and that's what I'm thinking. I'm trying to think of a way to do this where somehow we get like the black outline on the flanking arrows, but it's not easy because of the way that, like, again, the interface files are so esoteric. The way that you have to edit them, I think I've said this in other streams, you cannot, or like if you want to actually like edit them the real way, basically you have to go find an old version of Flash CS6, because that's the only one that can output in ActionScript 2, which is what you need to be able to do. And you have to have the entire compilation environment for all the different HUD components. If you're doing the vanilla HUD, I think you can do that. The problem is I'm using Sky HUD, so there's a lot that I don't have. So recompiling, which would be the easier way, is not an option for me. What I have to do instead is use this, a really cool tool called FFDEC. I don't know what that's short for, something decoder, presumably. Flash file decoder, maybe. And you take the already compiled file, it decompiles it, and then you can like edit little bits, right? Like I can show you a little bit about what that looks like. Minimize here. Where's my heckin'... Here we go. I need my file browser. Interface, right? No. Interface, here we go. Here's the HUD menu .swf. There, I can like just very briefly. Oh, here before I really get sidetracked on stuff, don't I? Here's the old website, more or less. It's so cool to like see this. Oh, this is 3.4. So this is like the last version for a very long time, and then eventually we went to 4.0. And that was when we used Automaton. So this is like probably about the latest that it gets. Click here to begin installing. Oh, do you remember this one, JJ? That's crazy. Yeah, some of you, I imagine, are... So here's the thing, Copper. It does technically have 100% opacity at the beginning of the animation. I can show you kind of what I mean. So at... I can't stop the animation, can I? By using the console. So the very first frames are 100% opacity, and that's why it's somewhat limited. Whoa. Did you just win? Smart. I might be able to change the curve at which the opacity changes so that it's heavier at first and then kind of exponentially falls off. That would be a good idea, I think, or at least, see if I can do it. And then maybe another option, something I might be able to do, is like maybe have another object in there that can follow the mask. But I think what I originally tried doing this, where I just put a darker background on the wings, like in general, right, and like kept it there, and that just looked kind of bad. I might be able to fade it out as well. I'll have to mess around with it. I will try to get it even more readable than it is now. If this is how it has to be, at least for the first iteration, I would call that achieving the what do they say in software dev? It's acceptable criteria or acceptable functionality, whatever it is. But I will check on the colorblind stuff. That's very important. And I imagine this version that I'm going to show off of the thing is not. Yeah, okay, so you can see what I did was, wow, that's a classic. Requiem Reborn. Caffeine, 1/5 block of butter, heavy cream. Hell yeah, Praxis. So this is what I changed it to. Any of the completely black ones here are, mandatory. These ones are optional. Man, you got like these. I don't think the animation works quite right. It kind of, not quite. But yeah, this is how it used to be, y'all. If you're curious, you just download your mods. This page will show you which mods. Approximate time, long AF. This is cool. It was only 65 gigs. That's actually pretty close to what we have now. So that's pretty cool. Here's my little modal that I made to kind of explain what the fuck each thing was. And yeah, it's just like, hey, do this for 10 hours and like there's just so much opportunity for user error. It's wild that we got any sort of, installs at all, but we did. We tried to be very clear, that's all you could do. And I really think that as far as what was available at the time, this was like a pretty solid entry, in terms of clarity. Let me see if I can find a version that it doesn't have the colorblind changes. It doesn't look like it, because I believe well, maybe. I can't remember if I released it in 2016 or not. Let's try the absolute earliest version. We did have people try to install with Nexus Mod Manager. We told them, I mean, that was like a very easy way to be like, nope, all right, fuck off. And this was like, when the website was like this is back when it was like just me, right? So I would do just like hella support all the time, and it's a bummer, right? Like, it really takes time away from other stuff you're trying to do. That's why it's just so much better now with like Wabajack and all the tools that we have. Yeah, well, so we're gonna release the customization resources. I need to put them together. Is this one? Yeah, okay, here's the original colors. So this was ass for colorblind people, apparently, which makes sense because these probably have just about the same, like, I think like the saturation is one of the biggest factors, right? So if they're at like a similar saturation value, it's very hard to like discern them. Yeah, so can you not see the difference between these? I believe it. I put it into the colorblind test and it was like, nope. And I was like, oh, cool. And again, like, because of just how we built it at the time, I just had to go through and manually change the hex codes of like fucking 400 little thingies. Yeah, it's these bars right here. I can't really like select them. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, like the optional components. So I'm gonna be making the customization resources myself. You're still kind of like voiding your warranty at that point, more or less, but you know, we have a lot of tools for you to be able to add things, and I got rid of the whole optional bit because obviously, for one, it's really tough to do with the tools we use now. It's just not worth the effort and like the time. I don't know. Kind of everything that's in there is stuff that I feel like for the thing you should want anyway. Of course, it's subjective. And there are, what we plan to do is like for stuff that we really get a lot of feedback on, like people don't necessarily like it, we're going to add likely options to the launcher. So like a good example of that would be the zoom in for conversation. That makes some people sick. I'm talking about this thing right here. Here. I'll go talk to, stop. Whoa! Wait, did I already? No, Ice Wolf collision off. No, my collision off. This business.
Azura has seen your coming.
So it's not that bad when I'm standing next to her, of course, but if I'm like over here. That kind of slow. I slowed down the zoom, so hopefully it doesn't make people, you know, sick. But some people don't like things like that, and you know, those are like making those kinds of things like optional with the tick box is relatively easy, and it's especially possible now because of our launcher devs are just fucking amazing. And yeah, so stuff like that we would make, you know, optional. Option to the launcher to hide merchant shop chests. Maybe, well, so what Lizzy's talking about is this like hard mode biz that we've been considering. So maybe with that we can do it. All right, so that's the sneak meter, y'all. Again, oh shit. I forgot I was fast. I will try to see what I might be able to do to make those wings even more visible. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, that's the fucking thing. Let's see. What was the next? Oh yeah, oh my god. All right, so next up, what we're going to be taking a look at is Lizzy's Missives expansions. This one, I have a few images for you. Oh shit, I'm going to have to mark that as unread again. Hold up. There we go. My left monitor is a lower resolution than my other one, so it's kind of chonky. Let's find, let me see, I'm just going to download all of these. Let's get rid of here. And let's put that over here. Okay, I think between this one and this one, and then the ones from today, we should be set. All right, cool. All right, y'all. So here's my pitch, my preamble for this. Obviously, 1.2.0, the two big focuses. It's called the jobs update. So jobs are the biggest focus, and the other component that's going to be a part of it, that's redundant, is the religion overhaul, which is what all of the patrons voted on. For the jobs, what I mean by jobs is like just jobs, professions, things, life skill type stuff, other things that you can do in the world that are not necessarily just killing, that also, impact the world, impact, your relationships with people, all this kind of stuff. That's the eventual vision. We actually have some crazy plans. I can talk about it, I guess. I'll just preface with some of what I'm about to tell you is like, some of what I'm going to show you is absolutely going to be in there. Some of these additional bits, I'll be very clear to delineate them as like, maybe, and even if, likely not in 1.2.0. But a cornerstone of the jobs update is the expanded Missives jobs system, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, everything is subject to change. Put that up on, in big text on the screen. Lizzy has been working her ass off while I've been fixing up 1.1.6. Jay has been working on his bandit mod and his, factions and all that kind of stuff. That one I think is less likely to make it into 1.2.0, but it's a really solid framework. So Lizzy has been working her ass off on what is a core component of the jobs update. It's an expansion to the Missives quest system. Y'all know the Missives. Missives are fucking rad as hell. They are region-based jobs that you can go and get from what is essentially a job board, right? So we love that. And what Lizzy has done is basically gone ham with the Missives. So now, let's bring it over here. Let's make it big. You will see that there are many new, when you go in to play this fucking game, you will see there are many new kinds of missives that you can do. So everything from, we've got, Lizzy, she has a better running list in her head because she's working on it right now, I'm sure, than I do. So Lizzy, let me know if I miss anything. You've got produce scrolls, you've got crafting missives, you've got meal delivery. You can see this is where is it? Where's Dragon Dash? I saw someone mention that. Where are you seeing that? Oh no, Liam, you just know about it. It's not on this one. Yeah, we got meal delivery that was originally called Dragon Dash for fun. Also, I see this character's name is Missy. That's clever, Lizzy. You've got fucking here. We've got like you can function as a cook yourself. We've got fishing missives. We've got tailoring missives. We've got alchemy missives. Like for not just, collecting ingredients, but like producing specific potions, right? You've got the kind of classic, like, what's it called? Oh my god, what's the word? The bandit kind of stuff, right? Like, there's just so many different things that you can do now. You're going to go to these job boards and just have a million different options as to, like, what sort of jobs you want to do. You can almost look at it as, like, a freelancer board, right? Or just, like, a local, like, yo, any adventurers, any producers, any fucking craftspeople, farmers, like, whatever it is. Like, here's what we need. So that's, I would say, the biggest component is the expansion of being able to do all these different kinds of things. Now you can see here, like, urgent smithing order. This is one that I know Lizzy's still working on. We're pretty sure that it's going to work, but, everything's subject to change. Many of these missives were and also the names of these we're going to go through and maybe tweak them and, like, whatever. Some of these will be, like, more urgent than others and, like, pay you more and do all kinds of shit like that. So it's just really, really wild. There's a million different new things that you can do. That's component one, right? Component two is you can get different kinds of rewards for the missives that you complete. So it's not just gold anymore. It can be training. It can be objects. There's, like, I don't know. We really kind of went ham. Lizzy really went ham in kind of expanding the various different kinds of rewards that you can get. Here's a feature that is not very likely going to be in 1.2.0, but something I keep thinking about a lot. Did I say you can get skill ups? Because that's a big one. We really, yeah, I think I did. Okay, cool. Training right now, smithing order, gotcha. So like these are the kinds of, and again, I'm not saying all of these different kinds of missives will have all this stuff. I'm saying it's possible, and it's very much in progress. So take it with a grain of salt. But these things are possible, and it's going nuts. That's a big one. And then the feature that I would like to expand into in the future is having these missives really impact the world. And what I mean by that is that, we have kind of like supply and demand mechanics in the game already. Not supply and demand, sorry. We have regional pricing mechanics. It's based on like a simulated supply and demand where, we know certain types of objects are more common or less common in certain areas, right? That it factors into like the value of the things and I'll get into this too, how that's like a factor as well. What I would like to do in the future is, one, I plan on introducing like legitimate supply and demand so that like as you buy and sell certain commodities in an area, it will affect like the prices. The missives in theory would allow us to affect not only that, but just the regional pricing. Like we can essentially have these missives like affect the local economies, right? And just affect the world. Another component of that would be that, the relationship system, like the different favor kind of dynamics between you and like the people that you're accepting orders from, delivering orders to, or like whatever it is. We can fuck with that, which is really awesome. So yeah, it's really what we're building here is a framework from which we will be able to do, I think, a lot of really insanely cool stuff. It's just wild. And that brings me to component 3, which I can see what Lizzy is kind of talking about. You can get, so the way that Missives normally works, in fact I can show it off here. Missives is pretty simple in terms of rewards. You have certain kinds of jobs that are, flat rate kind of payments. And unfortunately, like this is fine. It's just a little less interesting than it could be. And it also kind of sometimes puts you in these situations that might make sense in vanilla, but they don't really make sense in Requiem. For example, like the pelt gathering quests that Lizzy initially built out, based on like the way that, vanilla works, or like the vanilla quest, you would get the same reward for like getting pelts from a saber cat as you would from like a wolf. And there's an obvious disparity in danger there in, Requiem and Wildlander. So we were like, that can't be how that works. So Lizzy has overhauled the system so that it's aware of the stuff, like basically any sort of like order or, anything where you're delivering like a commodity, the reward that you're going to get in gold or like whatever is proportionate to the difficulty of gathering the thing or producing the thing or like whatever. It's a lot more aware of the stuff, right? And how do I put this? The cool thing about that is that the functionality that we use in order to calculate those values is itself based on the local economies, right? So if you, for example, are going to, like, if in Windhelm there's an order, you're lucky enough to get like an order for like, I don't know, what's a metal that's rare in Windhelm? Silver, right? I'm pretty sure silver is rare in Windhelm. Let's just say for the sake of conversation that it is. Getting an order for silver equipment or whatever in Windhelm is fucking rad because silver's worth a lot there. So if you manage to complete that order, like, it's proportionately better. You know what I mean? It's just really fucking crazy. And that's like the three main... Lizzy, please correct me if I'm missing anything important. I think that about covers it. But I'm so excited. And this is, again, like, this is the baseline iteration of the framework. It's so cool to me, even as is. And there's just so much we can do with it that I'm really excited about. Oh my god, the Dark Missives! Holy shit! How could I forget? Dark Missives, y'all. Like, everyone knows that the Missives boards are above board sitting in the middle of town, right? They're all just regular things law-abiding citizens would ask for and, you know, have you do. What about dark missives, y'all? What about thievery contracts? What about assassinations? What about, you know, roughing people up and all these kinds of things? You know, there's a whole ass economy for, like, not for criminals too. Like, criminals still abide by the economy. So we had this idea to have, like, what we're just calling dark missives for now. But yeah, just missives that are crimes, right? And yes, plan to tie into the favor system that Jay's building out, so you have these interacting frameworks. And it's just nuts, in my opinion. The last points to skill, get them from missives. To get to a skill, to get them from missives seems cheating if it becomes too easy. So most rewarding missives are always the skill points. Yes, so I mean, really, when it comes to skill, it really depends on how you implement it. There are ways, like, so the precursor to missives was the notice board. I think many of you might remember this mod, right? Oh yeah, skooma production. That was one of, like, producing drugs, you know, illegal substances. That's another one. Gives us a reason to kind of, like, introduce those mechanics into the game. Interception counters related to you have a missive to supply weapons when held. There's a chance Imperial soldiers will attack you because you're supplying stone plugs. You could do something like that, I suppose. I can think of ways you could do that. And yeah, like Jay is saying, you could do it. I would call that, like, you know, stretch functionality that we would definitely not focus on in the interim. But also, there's a chance that, you know, that just happens organically, or that, you know, as you're going, like, a place because of the factional relationships and, like, the changes to the faction systems, you might just inadvertently... I know it's different than what you're asking, where it's like a, you know, a contingent of soldiers who are specifically there to rob you because maybe they have, like, spies or something that know about this order, right? Like, that's basically the Sapphire X, what is his name? Shotter interaction in Riften. So that would be great. That would be super cool. But you can have something like that happen dynamically just by virtue of the different factions and stuff moving around the world and, like, your factional relationships, which we plan to expand. So that's what I mean. It's kind of like this whole system and framework that the key to me about building this kind of experience, and, like, one of the core pillars of the design, is that you want a bunch of systems that are running alongside each other that can then dynamically interact and just create. It's not as if, you know, it's the antithesis of, like, scripted interactions where it, you know, it always plays out this way. Just by virtue of the different systems in the world states, you have these kind of crazy things and, like, sensible things that happen, right? If that makes sense. So yeah, we'll see. Yeah, dark missives. I was gonna say, let's go to white. Hold on. Outlaw, refuge, and white run. Is that what it is? Maybe it's, I can't remember. Help. Outlaw for sell. Let's see. White run, outlaws, refuge. That's what it was. So just imagine if in this place, right, you have a, what's it called, like a jobs board for, because, like, the original intent behind these, like, outlaw refuges, well, I'm super fast, super fly, was to have, like, an alternative means for players to, like, do thievery type stuff without necessarily needing to join the Thieves Guild. Joining the Thieves Guild is still cool. It's like an incentive because you get better prices and you can sell for more and all that kind of shit, right? This might be in the sewers. I don't know where it is. I'm not going to spoil it for you, but let's just say it's somewhere. So yeah, like, having these kind of dark missives allows you to do this even more, right? You have just a whole system designed to give you player-driven goals and activities and rewarding kind of little side quests to do in these places. Just helps make it feel like a real place. It, I think, expands on all that kind of, like, self-directed gameplay. I just think it's really fucking cool. And, you know, I'm really excited about it. Oh yeah, I need to look at Skyrim Reputation more. Ori, it looks really rad. My understanding of Skyrim Reputation is that it's mostly based around kind of, like, dialogue reactivity versus, like, mechanical components. But if it's, like, a system 2 that can be hooked into, I would absolutely do that. Yes, so Dark Missives are very early still. It's just, I mean, it's something that we're pretty sure we can do based on all the stuff that Lizzy's already done with the other Missives. And based on the Missives that already exist as part of the mod, right? Oh, and then the last thing, I knew there was something else I wanted to say, is the skill experience, right? So I'm pretty sure, and then Jay and Lizzy can correct me if I'm wrong here, but I'm pretty sure this is possible. We originally wanted to ensure that the skill ups and that the training available from these mods are like, if it's supposed to give you like a full level, it does give you a full level. That was an issue that we found with, like, for example, the notice board, was that sometimes, because it's based on different kind of like skill XP curves than Requiem, it would not give you, there's two problems. One, either it wouldn't give you enough experience, not enough as intended, or if we used the function, there's a function that just straight up like adds, like finishes the current skill, right? Like levels up your current skill. The problem with that is that, like, let's say, I don't know if any of my skills are like built out. I don't think so. It's like a level 1 character. Let's just, okay, here's Sneak. Let's say that Sneak was like here, right? Like I'm almost about to level up. If we use that function, we're only getting like this much worth of experience. Whereas if we had used it at the beginning of the level when we don't have any experience in that yet, we'd be getting more bang for our buck, right? Does that make sense? So that's something we're definitely trying to avoid. What I'm thinking, we have a way to just, you know, make sure you get a flat level of XP. And with that, what I'm thinking we probably ought to do, and I believe it'll be possible, I can't guarantee it, is we should avoid a scenario like what you're talking about, Max Power, or no, Mac Mora, I believe, said it. The balance issue where, like, look, if the reward for these missives is, like, you just get a flat skill up, it creates that same problem where it's worth despite the task being the same, right? Let's say for just ease of conversation that you get a skill up like from hunting a certain number of creatures, then the person who gave it to you teaches you some like gives you a level in, I don't know, marksman or whatever. Doing that quest at level 10 marksman and doing that quest at level 90 marksman, that one skill up counts for a lot more, and it's a bummer, right? Because, or it's a balance issue. So what I'm hoping we can do, and I believe that we have a way to do this, I believe this is what Lizzy is talking about, is basically just calculating how much XP we want to give someone based on the difficulty of the job, the same way that we now scale the rewards based on the value of the items that you're turning in, or like the difficulty in attaining them, blah blah blah. So you are getting skill proportionate to the effort and the value and blah 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 is the idea. Anyway, that's the plan. I believe we will be able to do that. Otherwise we'll figure something out, I'm sure. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it, y'all. Again, Lizzy J, let me, so that Mac Mora, this is something that I'm trying to figure out. It should be, I believe that we can populate the missives texts themselves with, I don't know if this is going to be in the initial version. This is kind of like my own pet project. I am thinking about having the missives contain the rewards that you will get, because I think that's important. And also, if and when we implement these kind of like world state changes, whether that's something as simple as, you know, delivering a super high volume of silver to Windhelm, to use the same example, like reduces the value of silver because of the recent abundance a little bit, or whether it's something like, you know, the having your completed dark missives job like affect through Skyrim reputation people's perception of your character, something like that. Whatever those world state changes or effects it's going to have on the larger game world are, I think it would be cool to represent those like in there, right? In the text, that is. So I'm hoping we can do that. I certainly can't guarantee it. Oh yeah, here you go, Lizzy. Lizzy also managed to make these quests into like legitimate side quests so that you can see much more information on them, and it's a lot clearer, and you're not just limited to this, you know, single, I don't know, here, do I have any miscellaneous quests? I don't think so. Journal. No active quests. Oh, let's go and grab a missive then. Whiterun Origin. Oh, and that's something else I forgot to mention. Here's something, Lizzy. Lizzy's added missive boards to more locations. So now many more of like the big villages, not just the you know,
We'll pay whatever it takes,
the
but we
big
must
cities
more
will have
swords for
missives.
the Imperial soldiers.
No rain,
You
please.
just can't fill
It's
an
bad
order
for
that
streams.
size on my own. One of these moments, kids.
Yeah, absolutely. You do one good missive or lawful missive, and then you do one lawless one. So let me grab. Here's the missives board, by the way. And then someone also mentioned wanting to tweak the percent rate that the things show up. We can totally do that. We haven't even really thought about balancing that sort of thing yet. So this is how many missives you have, just, you know, as a level 1 character in Whiterun in the current version. So hopefully that illustrates how much of an expansion this is. But let's go ahead and grab, sure, Gather Elves Ear. Why not? So you'll notice that the, yeah, so Lizzy has like all of these missives. There's like a shit ton of them, obviously. That is because she has all of the categories set to 100% for testing purposes. So, you know, it'll be, we're going to rebalance it. But let's go ahead and, where's my missive? Gather Elves Ear, right? No, I don't want to discard. I kind of wish there was like an alternative way to show that. No, quests. So you can see here, every missive is currently classified as a miscellaneous quest. So this is all it really, I mean, some of them it's, you know, for something like Gather Ore or a Calcum, that's like, fine, it's okay. It doesn't tell you who it wants it. It doesn't tell you like who's giving it to you, who you need to, because like some of these you need to go and pick something up from somebody and then you need to take it to someone else. It does have like quest markers, right? But also you need to remember to turn this on. And I don't know, I think it's like, why not have more information if you can, like so. It's basically the quest equivalent of the what is the, oh my god, even better quest objectives, right? Like that adds objectives that are much more elucidatory of what it is you're supposed to be doing. Because sometimes you'll go and do something else and you'll forget, and it's like, wait, what the fuck? Where did I even, what is this, right? And it's easy to forget. Or I don't know, maybe you stop playing for a little bit and come back. What's stopping people from yoinking all the missives? I mean, you could do that, Moon, if you were able to do it in that amount of time. But the missives, they have a time limit, these jobs, right? Like, you can't, if you don't manage to finish the job in the amount of time that's allotted, there are consequences. You can get charged with stealing if you're supposed to deliver something. This is where we can tie it further into like the reputation mechanics, where like already we can have like the relationship shit, right? You know what I mean? That makes someone pissed off at you if you take their job and then don't finish it. Are there still missives for in jail people, dead people on the board? There should not be. Any NPC that you have like in the missives, right, that should not be there, you should let us know, because there's a list that we keep adding to. So you should not be getting missives for people in jail or who are dead. I don't have Fusro Da. I can never remember the, what's it called, the console command. Gather ones don't have a time limit. So yeah, I'm sure not every single one has a time limit, but also, same thing, we can institute time limits, I'm pretty sure. Or like, again, no guarantee, but I'm pretty sure we'll be able to. If someone dies after accepting, I believe there's a fail state for that. It was a problem in the past, been wondering. What version are you talking about, Macmore? Because every time we get a report, like, it's a super easy tweak, because it's a form list that you just add different NPCs to. And you can see, actually, it's pretty fucking massive now. Boom. There you go, and I'm not going to... Oh, yeah, okay, so, like, straight up, I'll be honest with you, if you're playing on 1.0, like, I'm really proud of 1.0 in that it was solid enough to where we could work on all the improvements and fixes for like a solid 6 months and not really have that many issues with people, right? That said, really, if you're playing on 1.0 and you don't mind starting a new character, like, really you ought to update. Even going from 1.0 to 1.1 is just like hundreds of fixes, and that's to say nothing of the fixes that came from 1.1 to 1.5, and then 1.6 that's coming out now is like, there's like a bajillion, it's like almost not as many as 1.1, but still a lot. Like, I want to say something like 130 or something like that tickets that we have for 1.1.6, so I strongly recommend upgrading. 1.1 110, there you go. The 1.1.6 is still going to be save safe, right? So like a character that was started on 1.1 will be able to do this one. Just saying. It's when people say they're on like 1.0, I'm like, I mean, I get people get attached to their characters, but I'm like, yo, maybe consider updating. Any chance we can get something to help us selecting stuff on third person? It'd be really hard to know what you're actually looking to know. Yeah, check it out. It's fixed already, more or less. Also, maybe one day I'll add in that cool, like, third-person selection overhaul mod. I can't remember what it's called. Better third-person selection. Seems pretty cool, but I kind of prefer the crosshair. But we use contextual crosshair now for quite a lot of different things. Like, now you have, what's it called? Help. Wait, here. Do I have a bow? I should. You can see that the crosshair appears. You start drawing your arrow. It goes away afterwards. Do I have a... I don't have any spells. Add stuff. I'm going to try not to roast that goat. Same thing. Whoa. The, you start blasting. So I started blasting, right? Here's...
You sure you shouldn't be home in bed?
Shut up, Nazim. Crosshair's so extremely tiny and hard to see. Yeah, you probably can. I mean, if you... I believe Skyhood has an option for that. Let me check. Where's... Oh, do I not have it open? I don't have it open. I almost always have the SC open. I believe that was the last thing that I was editing. Alright, I'll fry them. Let's see here. No, yeah, scale. Crosshair, 8.5. Yep, so you can make it bigger if you like. I don't know how it shows up on the stream, or the stream. I know it's tiny, but it's also animated. I think it's pretty easy to see still, personally. But you can always adjust that. It's a very simple adjustment if you want it to be bigger. I like it when it's really tiny because crosshairs bother me. You can see it there. Oh yeah? I need to reduce some of these models. Fun fact, this garlic, I mean, you can kind of see. Let's go. Whoa. Oh yeah, shit. Hold on. No, it's annoying too. There we go. We gotta stay. This garlic is way too good of a model for how many of them there are and for how many draw calls it adds. Where's Nazim? Hello? There he is. What's up, dude? Again, ignore the enemy health bar being wonky. Got him. Stop. Look,
You have committed
it's okay.
crimes against Skyrim and her people. What say you in your defense?
I didn't do it. It's possible. I have a question, Macmora. Hopefully, I'm not trying to dox you or anything. Are you anywhere in the UK, or we'll just say that time zone, right? Because there was like a brief, like, this was my bad. NL.
Chops and steaks fit for a jarl. Come and see my selection.
Brexit, yeah, the Brexit time zone. Wait, shit, no, I don't play, add item, GMT, I don't even actually know where GMT is. Greenwich Mountain Time. No. Do I not have enough gold to pay my... wait, hold on. Player at... Ugh, it's reversed. Shh. 10,000. UK +1. Okay, so it is entirely possible that... Is this what happened? Did you try to update from 1.0 to 1.1 at some point, and then it still ended up on 1.0? Because unfortunately, a lot of people, or at least a small handful of people, when I first updated 1.0 to 1.1, they ended up getting... Yeah, okay, so you must have been one of the unlucky few. I apologize. There was... I can't even remember like what happened or why it happened, but the version that was uploaded or that was downloadable from Wabbajack, I must have fucked up the upload or something like that. It thought it was 1.1, but it was still 1.0 being downloaded. So some people who wouldn't know any better were just like, oh cool, like 1.0, and it's actually still the scuffed version. Oh, is that what it was? I swear, though, I still swear to this day that I didn't, but, I mean, I don't know what other explanation there is. I'd rather die. No, let me pay my bounty.
Sold.
It's Nazim. I did a service for everyone. Oh, no, now they're not gonna let me. Not now, anyway. Hoi! Hoi, Alright, well, we killed Nazim, and then... What else is there? I mean, that's pretty much the missives. If you have any questions for me, please feel free, to hit me with it. What I am going to do... I know, they should be. I am going to quit out now, and then we are going to... I'm remembering to do this so I don't blast your eardrums. Right, yeah, or questions for Lizzy, of course. I mean, really, it's like this work is Lizzy's, you know what I mean? Like, I haven't... She asked me a question here and there, and that's been my, what's it called? My contribution thus far. Or like, yeah, I mean, basically. Yes, Nemesis looks rad, or whatever it's called. Here, I'm going to take the desktop audio, I'm going to bring that down, because we're going to go look at some mod suggestions, right? And I'll play some music. And I'm going to go get some more water. Why can't you get beheaded for killing a dude in cold blood if your crime is too high? I don't know, that would be cool. The errorists win. Who does your hair? This, you know, my stylist is a Suave 2-in-1 shampoo and conditioner. I'm just kidding. I'm not that degenerate. But really, I don't do shit. Maybe it looks better on stream. I promise you, it's very oily in developer. Alright, cool. I'm gonna go refill my water bottle, and then why don't we... I'm gonna play this music right now. Why don't we look at some mod suggestions, y'all? Get Voyage of Blood back in here. Hopefully, let's see. I'm gonna start it out low so I don't blast your eardrums. How's that? Alright, please enjoy. I will be right back. My water bottle, I left my big one at my friend's house, and now I have to use this dinky one instead, so I'm constantly running out. Oh well. Alright, give me 2 seconds, I'll be right back. Yo, what's up, y'all? Thank you very much. Oh wow, okay, we got some different music now. This is Castlevania Symphony of the Night. Beautiful. Yo, what's up, Shogun Show? We went over the new sneak meter and we went over the new Missives expansion. Let me turn this down just a smidge. Some nice background music. Cool. Oh, Macmora, by the way, since that time, we have a foolproof way of verifying what version people are on. We built in, I say we, the launcher devs, built in means of determining the version through the launcher, and it'll tell you. Thanks, Virtua. Me too. What a legend she is. It's so cool that she made the music for Bloodstained as well. Legend composer. Okay, let's look at some mods, shall we? So we're gonna do this just like last time. Let me close all these tabs. What time is it? Oh no! I hit close other tabs. Whoops. There we go. Close. We're Gucci. What about Lost Painting? How about that? Oh, classic. Love this song. Yeah, me too. That would have been really cool. I know that people are a bit bummed at how they utilized, or maybe I should say didn't utilize, the music in the show, which I can definitely see. I do like that they kind of used some of the more iconic tracks in these like very specific moments. I think that the sparing use did make those moments particularly epic. But when you have a musical bench as deep as Castlevania, I understand people's disappointment when it's not utilized more heavily. Here we go. Okay, so this one we can have here. Unassessed suggestions. Needs further assessment. Staff's author Dylan's mods being integrated. Animated static reload fix. Oh yeah, I think I did this one. Well, we'll leave it there. Oh yeah, sure. On it, Cisco. Let me go. I wish I had a different spot for this microphone. Why can I not? Okay. Requiem of the Vampire. So I'm assuming this is like a Requiem-based vampire overhaul, right? Let's take a look here. RTC. Just to make it a little bit more interesting. Rebuilt. Curse of the Vampire. Does not require Curse of the Vampire. Who made this one originally? I can't remember. It'll be safe to open this, right? Oh, it's him. Who is this user? Do they go by a different name on like the subreddit by chance? So I mean, the answer to that, Macmora, is that we basically haven't. If you are familiar with the marketing term inbound marketing, we have not done much inbound marketing, almost none, really. That refers to like trailers and things of that nature. All the marketing for Wildlander has basically just been word of mouth, and the reason for that is that I've been waiting until I could flesh out the build with some of the features that are actually coming in 1.2.0 to make an updated trailer, because some of you I know some of you, based on what you've said in this chat, some of you will remember that the entry point for Ultimate Skyrim intro, for most people I think into Ultimate Skyrim and just like my work in general, was this video, which was essentially a trailer for Ultimate Skyrim. Fun fact, this was supposed to be a trailer for just my video series with, you know, my personal build that I was calling Ultimate Skyrim. Was never supposed to be installable or playable by anyone else. And yeah, obviously that changed over time. But this is what brought everyone into the project, I think. You can see it's definitely my most viewed video. and it's a huge priority to make an updated trailer. I, of course, cannot, assume that it's going to perform like this one did, because, the algorithm giveth and the algorithm taketh away. But I'm hoping that it'll give me, some sort of additional... hopefully this is not self-aggrandizing. I'm very stoked with how Wildlander has performed, given that we've done no marketing whatsoever, and given that we changed the name even. So there's only some degree of brand recognition between the two. There is some, so it's not entirely nothing. But I don't know, like let's just say we had a lot of downloads, like, for what we can see from the metrics, and I'm just really hoping that we can like crank that shit into 12th gear once we release an updated trailer, Kenshi's a big influence, Virtua. Oh, that's cool, Liam. Oh, nice, Alan. Yeah, I mean, should be stable. Thank you very much, Miscreant. I mean, word of mouth is, from a marketing standpoint, word of mouth is there's many different words to describe that. Word of mouth, I think, is the one to use because people know what it means. Some people call it a flywheel, where it's like you build a high quality product that gets people to like it, they evangelize it to their friends, that gets more people in and lets you improve the quality of the product, so it just keeps spinning. But basically, it's just, any sort of marketing where the other term, what is it? Product-led growth. That's like the consultants like that one, where you just have something, hopefully, that's good. And I'm not saying, Wildlander's good. I hope it is. But where you have a product that's solid, that people like, and then they go and become your sort of your promoters, so to speak. That's my favorite kind, because that's how I think that, there's two components. There's the quality of the product, and then there's the exposure element. That's like marketing, kind of, right? What good is hype if the thing itself can't deliver, right? I mean, it's good for something, but my ultimate goal is to build something awesome. So I kind of lean on the making it dope first, and then marketing it after, I guess. Nice, Z-Wall. I mean, it's fine. It's out there in the world, you know what I mean? If people like, it's one of those things. Like, there was a streamer Summit. Someone, it might have even been you, Miscreant, who one of Summit's like viewers recommended Wildlander to them. They were like looking through stuff, and they like recommended the it's not a trailer. It's like an overview video that Dropped Ice Cream made, which is really cool. It's one of those things where I'm like, fuck, like I wish I had this version out, or I wish I had like my own trailer that like I could link and like blah 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 blah. I think you're generally fine with that kind of thing. I think that it's like, let's use that example. Like, okay, so Summit sees it in the current state. Maybe he's like, oh yeah, look, like his response was kind of like, the difficulty there is that whoever linked it to him, I think they did that thing that is so easy to do accidentally, where like you've been watching a YouTube video, you go to share the link, and then it like includes in the link where you were in the video, so it was like the very end, so that kind of missed all like the super hype shit. So definitely not the ideal showcase, but you react how you're gonna react as like a streamer who sees it. Let's just say it doesn't hook you at that point in time. If we get to a point later where it's really solid and we're marketing it and it's hitting this critical mass where people are talking about it, they're playing it, it'll find its way back to those people. Like, if their friends are like, oh shit, like I've been playing this mod pack and it's really cool, it's for Skyrim and it's blah blah blah, they'll be like, oh shit. They'll probably forget even that they already saw it already, or maybe they'll be like, oh yeah, like I think I remember like seeing this. But it's okay. I think the real thing to do is just focus on making the good thing, It's like you make the dope shit, and then the rest, I think, kind of falls into place. There is a little bit of luck, and there's also, you have to do the marketing. You can't just make dope shit and then expect everything to happen for you, but I think it's certainly the most important component. Positive effects, negative effects, bathed in Jackson takes significant damage every second. Save him, dense clock card. Okay. Okay. Cool. So here's the thing. This seems really cool. What I feel like this lacks, at least off the top of my head here as I'm reading, is a progression system. So for me, what's kind of, and it's the same thing with religion, right? Like progression systems I think are very important to kind of my vision of fun. You want their, like, I don't want to turn into a vampire and everything that ever will be for my vampirism already is, right? So it's like, the way this seems like a state change. It's like, okay, I'm a vampire, here's the good, here's the bad, here's what you get, here's what you don't, and that's it, right? I want to be able to start out as a fledgling vampire who, you know, maybe there's many different ways to do it, but that's one thing I always liked about the stage system. I mean, the stage system in Elder Scrolls is kind of weird. It's based on like how much you're eating. It's practically more of a needs system than it is like a true progression. But at least there's some degree of progression there, right? I like progression. I want to start out as a fledgling vampire, and then I want to slowly build. I want to treat it like it's a skill. You know what I mean? The same way you would any other skill. One-handed, I use more one-handed, I get better at one-handed, I get to do cooler shit with one-handed. Alchemy, whatever, same thing. I want vampirism to be a skill, the same way I want religion and worship to be a skill, same way I'd want werewolfism, lycanthropy, to be a skill. Progression, you know what I mean? Because the reason that's important to me is that progression, the desire to progress, is a very, very important driving motivator for players to do stuff in the world. In this living world we're trying to build, where you have all these interactive systems, where it's a complex tapestry, a web of different interactions that you can fuck around with to make things happen and to do stuff. We want you to create your own goals. We want to give you goals to pursue. We want to give you tools to pursue them in different ways, whatever seems like the most fun way to do it for you, based on the character that you've built. You know what I mean? Yes, absolutely, Macmora. I mean, I don't know if you've ever watched this original trailer. I would check it out. Sometimes I go back and watch that trailer, and I'm like, there's definitely things I would change, but I'm like, hey, this is actually not bad. This is like a pretty good way of, I think, getting people kind of in depth. But I have I've already kind of, I mean, I've been writing the script for the updated trailer, just kind of picking at it for like a year now. I think it's pretty close to its final iteration, and it talks a lot about that stuff. It talks about, this is not just a visual overhaul, like this is what it changes about the game world, you know what I mean? So I think it's very important to touch on those as well. I agree with you. Well, that's interesting. She hates using managers and automated processes. It's like, well, you can tell her that you can manually install it, I suppose. Custom skill framework is a maybe. If I need to add in more skills, I've thought a lot about that, like what sort of skills I would add. Maybe. It really just depends. I have some ideas on, like, I've been thinking, I mean, I have like a whole, I don't even want to say too much about it, but like leveling up skills, experience gain is likely going to get a pretty big overhaul. What skills are available, you know, whether we're going to have secondary skills. We have like the campfire skill trees that I can utilize, custom skills framework we can utilize. We'll see. We will see. And that's it's actually going to probably tie in. I've talked a lot about the changes to like weapons and armor that I plan. It's all kind of related to each other, right? It's like this Ouroboros. So you have leveling up and how that works, which is very much tied into changes to, like, let's call it this. The core thing that I'll be changing is the crafting tree, right? Y'all know I'm obsessed with crafting. I will be changing how crafting works. I will be changing how materials work and how they factor into weapons, armor, other things. The changes that I'm making to crafting will then kind of incentivize and necessitate changes to the other components of the Ouroboros, which is like combat and like how you level in general. If that sounds confusing, I apologize. It's like I mean, I don't know. We can go into that if we want. I was planning on doing these, but just suffice to say, there's some big shit in the works that I think is going to be really cool. Yes, so that's kind of one of the big issues, or not issues. I'm just all about consistency, right? It's like, look, we have, like, I don't know. I clearly consistency and cogency is something that's very important given the design of Wildlander. It's like, do I move all the skills into custom skills framework so they all operate that way? Maybe. If I want to have, if I were gonna like, if there's a bunch of skills I wanted to add, or I wanted to divide the current skills into a bunch of other ones, that's probably what I'd do, because the 21 skill limit in Skyrim is I don't like being limited that way. It's tricky because if we introduce a bunch of custom perk shit, then obviously that increases maintenance debt. There's a lot of considerations to consider. Suffice to say that consistency will be a continued important component of just, you know, the presentation, and that includes skills. I don't want you to have to like weirdly arbitrarily, it's like, oh, skills, you know, 1 through 21 are in the main menu, and skills 22 through 30, they're still skills, they're like the same, but like we couldn't fit them in the other one, so we put them over here instead. That's like, no, I hate that kind of thing. What's up, Sakura? Yeah, I know RL Craft, actually. That's a Shivaxi? Yeah, so it's like either that or you do, okay, here's the 21 skills, and those are the main skills, or whatever primary you call them. And then we have secondary, which could be like hunting or fishing or cooking or whatever the fuck, some sort of trade skills or something. There would have to be some sort of distinction or like thematic organization of them. I would not be like how I said before, where it's like 1 through 21 are here because that's where they fit, etc. So this is really cool, but I'm actually going to, I'm going to say it needs further assessments. I'm trying to think about how to organize these. I feel like maybe I should make a I'm going to make a maybe column. Say, I'm going to call this, what do I call it? Bottom, thank you very much, Lizzy. I'm going to call it, why is this, I can't think of a good word here. Fishing, cooking, farming, planning, making that. Oh, Sakura! If you made a farming mod, I would love you more than I already do. Like, oi. No one's done it well. No, and there's a god, I've wanted a farming mod for so fucking long. And nobody, I mean, sometimes it's just how it goes, then you gotta make your own shit. We do that with other stuff, but like, god, a Sacrilegious farming mod would be my, and of course, cooking and you know, farming, fishing, go nuts. But like, farming, mining is what I meant to say. Sort of dragon scale. We do the hunting in Skyrim had some stuff for that. We don't currently have it added back in, but that is because the author, who I actually feel really bad about this, there's the author of Hunting in Skyrim is working on, and I don't know if you guys know Hunting in Skyrim. It's really cool, like other hunting mod, right? From back in the day. He's working on like a sequel mod, and I guess he was for a while, or I don't know if he like took a hiatus or whatever it is, but he was gonna call it Wildlander. And it's like, oops, shit, you know what I mean? So he actually reached out to me and offered me, because then I'm assuming he found out that, you know, what Wildlander is, our Wildlander, that is. And he messaged me and was like, ah, shit, like, yo, I saw you guys had this name Wildlander. And he was like, yo, if I have he's going to change the name, I think, is the assumption. And he was like, yo, I have the website Skyrim Wildlander, I think is what he, like, the domain that he registered. He's like, I can unlock it and send it to you guys if you want. I was like, thank you so much, bro. I'm so sorry if we stepped on your toes. That is my bad. But anyway, all that is to say, I am now waiting for his sequel mod. The cool thing about hunting in Skyrim, there's like, Hunterborn and hunting in Skyrim both, I think they worked best in conjunction with each other, because Hunterborn did some things that hunting in Skyrim did not, and vice versa. But really, I think hunting in Skyrim was like, it was my personal favorite between the two. I really do like Hunterborn. I would like to revisit it, the menuing and kind of how some of it works, and make it a bit more streamlined. That's always been my issue with it. But we'll see how, you know, like, hunting in Skyrim was such a superlative quality mod that I'm just really excited to see, like, what he comes up with. Okay. I'm gonna make this, I'm gonna say mods to maybe add, or what's a good, guys, help me out here. What's a good way of phrasing, like, a category that it's like, maybe we'll add this, but there's some issues that we would need to worry about, and I'll, you know, of course, specify what the issues are in the card and in the description. I need a quick, easy, communicable way, because this is going to be the public board. I need people to understand. If it was just me, I'd be like, the maybe mods, and I would know what it means. Tentative additions. You guys are right on it. I don't know why my brain is not working. Tentative mods. Say, what? Oh, whoops. Add list. And we're gonna, we're gonna say tentative can go here. I wish you could change the background color of these fucking lists, and I know that every person has asked for that feature on Trello, and they ain't done it. Can I add descriptions to these lists? That would be cool. Watch, sort by, no. Atlassian. Oh, interesting. Well, so EcuTruan, it definitely, I would not go the route of, like, I would not personally go the route of you can only set up camps in certain spots, but I definitely will allow players, one of the big things I gotta bring back is, like, build anywhere mechanics. So hopefully you could kind of set up, you know, your own stuff, right? And then building out a village is tougher. I would love to have those kinds of mechanics. And where, even like with this build your own anything, I would bring back like restrictions on, like, you can't just build a fucking house in the middle of Whiterun, or like even if you wanted to build a house, you would have to like get permits or whatever for it, or something like that. There are mods that let you make villages, but the way that those all work, and there are some cool ones that I would consider adding, but they're like very baked, you know what I mean? Like a good example is like Helljarken Farm, is probably the best like farming mod, but it's not a farming mechanics mod. It's like a, you can't just build a farm wherever you want. You can't, there's no farming mechanics that are just kind of like agnostic, for lack of a better term. You have to, it's like you can only build Helljarken Farm, right? And you can only build it in exactly the way that they want you to build it, which has like advantages. You can make something that's a bit more quality controlled and ensure it works all the way it's supposed to and that kind of stuff. But, you know, it is what it is. Playing around the village is hard to do. Yeah, so, hey, I have an idea, or a question, really, I guess, Sakura. Oh, fuck. You know what I wanted to test? Well, I can ask you this, too. First question. If you place at runtime, during runtime, like, objects that have nav cut meshes, will that update the nav mesh? Or will it still be fucked? It's, yeah, I mean, suggestions are typically made on Discord. How about this, Lizzy? For the purpose of these streams, I'll go ahead and accept mod suggestions, because then I can just turn them in the cards. Unless we need to have them logged through Discord. You know more about that than I do, and if so, then yes, I'll just send them to whoever. Or does it auto-filter? Yeah, that would be cool, Dragon. Carl, okay, so, alright, never mind then. Everyone has to use the Discord. No exceptions. Let's go down here. Oh, and what did you say about adding a card to the top? Can I pin it? How does that work? Or did I just say where to go? I swear sometimes Trello confuses the shit out of me. I'm gonna put this over here. Requiem of the Vampire. I'm gonna call this tentative mods. Say Carlo at bottom, add a card, drag the top. Okay. How is this sorted currently? Add a card. I'm gonna say. And you can't change the color of the cards either. It's like, what the hell? Because it's just gonna like look like another card. Oldest to newest. Gotcha. Okay. Well, I can do this on my own time. I'm gonna say, heh. Description. Done. What is it? How do I can't. Okay. Drag to top, oldest and newest. You can cut at a tower stairs. Ah, I understand, Sakura. That is a problem. Oh. I can do that. Edit, open card. It's important. Right click the card, click move, and then position 1. Aha! Smart. Thank you. Damn, that's tough. Sakura, the nav mesh thing bit. Oh, and then the second thing I was going to ask you, sorry, is do you know, I know that this has been the biggest problem forever, is adding perks to NPCs mid-game. If you add a perk to an NPC using the console and you save it, when you reload, does the NPC still have the perk or no? Yeah. Fallout 4 is like the settlement system, right? Move. Cool. I'm gonna say, oh my god, look at all these suggestions. I'm gonna capitalize this so I remember. No. Head description. Got him. Trello noob skill issue. It certainly is. I know that you can add them using the console, or at least I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I mean, there's ways to do it on startup. There's you could even use spell perk item distributor to, you know, that's like my backup. What I'm trying to do here is I just really want people to be able to, well, first of all, like the key core issue to solve is that followers only have whatever perks they have at the beginning of the game, and they don't get other ones as they level. That's a problem. The other thing I would like to do, so that's the need to fix. What I would like to fix, or like to add, is I want to be able to give followers perks, or like choose their perks like they're a fucking Mass Effect teammate. You know what I mean? So all the rival yells and loitering in the enemy keep make cool they were put in jail. Oh, that is weird. I didn't know that, Wash. Does not work. Really, Sakura? Let's go ahead. Let's fucking find out, shall we? No. Power of 3. Nexus. I'm actually, again, I learned my lesson last time. I don't think PO3 has any not safe for work stuff. Oh, that's just the mod. Okay, cool. Let's see. Document Papyrus Extender Wiki. Perk. No, I need a list of functions. It's probably in the README. Usage. Actor. Here we go. Or actor base. Oh, cool. That's okay. So they at least do have. I think has perk just returns like a 1 or a 0, right? Let's say perk. Add base perk. Remove base perk. Setters. It's a setter. Add base perk. 1. Get nth perk. I'm pretty sure that has perk is just a check for what they have. Add base perk. Adds perks to the actor base. Works on level actors, unique NPCs. Functions. Are you fucking kidding? PO3 is just such a legend. Like, every time I get to hang out with PO3 on Discord in the Skyrim mods Discord, I'm just like, you know that thing you do when you're like you don't want to be weird, but you're kind of like fangirling, you know what I mean? So you just like play it cool and you're not weird, but secretly inside you're like, yo, what's up? You fucking sick? That's how it feels. Check Skyrim commands to the. That's the list of console commands, Dragon Scale. If so, Oh, is that you guys? Oh, that's sweet of you to say. Skyrim commands. I mean, I'm assuming this is just console commands. Yeah, okay. So the thing, what I'm describing here, adding perks to NPCs is like fucking gnarly. It's for whatever reason, it's one of the things the engine just kind of can't do. That's why we had. Well, it is what I'm looking for. Thank you very much. Sort of. It's that. So I know that there's no console command to like. There is like add perk. I wasn't sure if it worked on NPCs. If it did, I was pretty sure that it wouldn't save it between sessions, because this is one of those. This is like one of those holy grail tier like things that we know doesn't work and has been an issue for a very long time. You guys remember back in the day, like before spell perk item distributor, which I believe is PO3 as well. Again, legend. If I'm wrong, still true. The reason that spell perk item distributor was such a game changer is because previously you like being able to assign perks was all. I mean, there's okay, it's a whole thing. I'm not gonna bother to get into it, but you used to have to do these like cloaking scripts where like the player character was, you know, the center of a radius, and every actor within this radius will say would get a script or a perk or an effect applied or whatever it was. It worked. It just kind of sucks from a performance standpoint because you're constantly running this script on everything around you. And even if you built it with like super efficiently, which one is just hard to do for certain types of features, and two, like is not like you could write it super efficiently, and you just are stacking too many mods that are trying to do this, right? Oh, and I was gonna say also, not every mod was written efficiently at first. Yes, PO3 is massively helpful. Sakura said you had a great mind. Yes. Making mods all I went coding team criticism. Yeah, absolutely, Sakura. Yep. Brawls broke. Trying to add perks to NPC. Okay, so spell perk item distributor. This is like my backup plan, because the core, again, the issue is that followers they only have a set number or, you know, set of perks that are assigned at game start, and that's boring as hell because it makes it so that if we missed a follower and the follower doesn't have proper perks, they're basically useless. And for the followers that you want to be useful, they are like too good, right? Or like they're like, let's take Uthgerd as like just a random example. Uthgerd has a lot of good perks because she's a accomplished warrior. You go and pay for her to be your follower with our like salary system through FLP. It's based on her level, and like the levels, this is what's difficult, is the levels are not a good approximation of a character's like efficacy in Requiem and in Wildlander. A character can be level 3 and it doesn't fucking matter if that character has a billion perks, right? Like they can be level 3, levels independent of perks, and they can whoop your ass, so it's like whatever. So yeah, it's boring, right? It's not like it's not dynamic at all. So we can fix that by basically configuring spell perk item distributor, at least I believe this is possible. Configuring it to say, hey, if an actor who is also a follower reaches skill 20 in one-handed, you give them the basic perk, right? If they reach skill 30, you give them the other one, whatever. That's okay. It's certainly better than it is now. It's just a little bit static. It's a little boring. That might work fine if, you know... Oh my god, Sakura, I would love that so much. If I was able to... If I had my vote, and please believe I would vote, if you did like a thing like what we did now where we do the patron voting, I would be your patron and I would vote with my patron vote. It would be honestly farming or expanding the disposition points so it's not just like 1, 2, 3, 4. Either one of those, top tier. Either one. I'd be like, woo. But yeah. So anyway, follower perks. We can do that. That's not horrible. It's just boring. It would be fine if perks were completely, what's the word? Like how they are in Oblivion, where it's like, oh, I'm level 25, I get this perk. I'm level 50, I get this perk. You don't choose between them, you just level. Which, by the way, that is a system that I've considered for like a skill overhaul. It basically turns it into somewhat of a passive tree. Even passive trees in Path of Exile, you can still choose. It's a question of how much do I want to... I almost want to, like, divide skills up like into a bajillion little ones and just make them like a linear progression, so the element of choice is no longer which perks you take, it's which skills you choose to focus in, right? Just an idea, just throwing it out there. In that case, that system would work fine. In a system that we currently have, which is where perks are designed to be the choice differentiators, you are intended to look at a perk tree and pick between specific ones and not other ones. If that's the case, then we would definitely want a way to, like, we need an interface. We want an interface that we can go with followers and say, hey, I want Uthgerd to level up her big bonk hammer perks, right? I want to give her those ones. And then my other character over here, who also uses two-handed, but uses, you know, spears, when we add those, I want him to be my spear guy, so I give them both different perks, right? Like, it's basically Mass Effect or any BioWare RPG, where you get to level your character, like, your followers the way that you want. That's what I'm kind of looking for here. And if you can do this, then it's possible. If this works the way it seems to, then it's possible, and that's really cool. Disposition for farm animals, beautiful. Vampires are not getting touched in 1.2, but they are certainly planned for the future. They're probably going to be in the next poll, because poor vampires. Werewolves still have some room to be made more interesting, right? But oh, I like the song. Hold on. Vampires are in a sorrier state, because vampires are just like, it's really tough to be a vampire in current Requiem. Imagine I'm doing, I don't know what this is supposed to be, a waltz. You can't really see my hands. Beautiful. Hey, I have a weird question for you guys. Does anyone know what the fuck MetaZoo is? Trading card game that's becoming somewhat popular. Look. Got some MetaZoo cards. A friend of mine was like a beta tester for MetaZoo. It's kind of, they're cool. It's like the whole kind of shtick behind it is that the creatures, it's very like Pokemon Gen 1, you can tell, like with the art. Check this out. Like it's a ponytail. Can you see that? Can't tell if it's too close. Oh. They're all like cryptids, right? So like various creatures from folklore and that kind of thing. Oh, sorry. It's too loud. I'll turn it back down. I just wanted to waltz with you guys, you know? Yeah, it looks pretty cool. Divinity Original Sin 2, hell yeah. How does Divinity Original Sin 2's disposition work, Sakurai? I never got far enough into it to actually know. You and me both, brother. Gen 1 Pokemon. Really, honestly, that was the only generation that I really participated in, both the TCG and the games. I didn't even... I mean, everyone, I think, from my age group agrees, more or less, that unless they're Pokemon fans and they continued to play the games in which they'd have more nuanced opinions. But Gen 2 was like the GOAT, right? Because Gen 2 was Gold and Silver, and that's when you got to have all the content from, you know, Red, Blue, Green. And it's gnarly. Yep. I'm 30. Okay, and close this out. Suggested mods, haha, description. Let me change the color of lists and cards. Trello. So here's what I'm gonna do. We're gonna write a comment here. Say, mod definitely looks like an improvement to the default state of vampires in Requiem. However, it seems intentionally without, or let's say it seems to, or uninterested in any form of... Whoa! What the fuck? Lizzy, how'd you do that? Did you do that? What? Cover. Oh, there's like a... Ah. Okay. That's something. That's something. Hell yeah, thank you. Seems uninterested in any form of progression for vampires, which is something I very much like. Perhaps this could be used as an improvement to baseline vampires, and another mod could be used for progression. Might not need this mod though in that case if the progression mod also changes baseline vamps. There we go. Okay. Quiet Dog. We need that one for sure. How about this? Oh, you know what we need another category for? Is mods being integrated. Say... I'm gonna call this added mods. Or like... 6... Let's say... denied mods. We got needs further... I almost want to change needs further assessments. It almost kind of sounds like tentative. Right, Lizzy? And then I can change this one because I want a category for like mods that are like approved or like awaiting integration. Whereas like unassessed will go into here. Here's what we're gonna do. Say needs further assessments. Or I guess mods being integrated, but that's like if I'm working on it. How do you see it? Help me out here. Oh, that's a good idea, Dragon Scale. Maybe. Oh yeah, nice Z-Wall. I mean, it looks like it almost looks like from the stuff that I've seen on what's the next one coming out? What's the next mainline Pokemon games? Is Pokemon Wells Fargo and Pokemon Bank of America? Yes, absolutely, Sakura, absolutely. So we already have a gift system, just, you know, via, what's it called, immersive speechcraft. But you need likes and dislikes. And also, I wanted to integrate likes and dislikes for the player, too. Scarlet Violet. Gotcha. But yeah, so it seems like Scarlet and Violet almost used, like, is it, how, okay, guys, please tell me, is it Arceus? Arceus? How the fuck do you pronounce that? I've not heard. I don't know, and I'm embarrassed to try and say it out loud. The, it looks like whatever that one, Amogus. No, I need a definitive answer. I need to know which way it is. We'll call it, so the side game of Pokemon that came out recently, Pokemon Amogus, is almost like a testing ground for this more kind of open world style Pokemon that I feel like a lot of people have been desiring for a long time. Because it looks, from what I've seen of Scarlet and Violet, it does. I know that, what was the one that came before this? It was set in like kind of like England. Fucking Pokemon Manchester and Pokemon not London, Westchester. Pokemon, fuck, what is the, oh my god. Where's H-Bomber guy from? Lizzy, help me out here. He's from, this is driving me, whatever, the joke is past. It's supposed to be with an S sound. English dub made it a K sound because it could sound like arse. Okay, it definitely looks like Arceus, but I get how arse is in there. Brexit. Yeah, I know, H-Bomb is English. He's from, where is he from? In, that everyone hilariously, even Northerners, among the Northerners, they make fun of this place. Not Liverpool. He's from, fucking, don't tell me. I'm gonna remember. He's from, can you, I'm not gonna remember. No, not Birmingham. Good guess, though. He's from, fuck. Why is this driving me crazy? Nope, I gotta look it up. Newcastle, no, nope, not Westham. Good guesses. You guys are all, these are all English places. He's from H-Bomber guy. His name is, oh no, that was the music tab. He's from, no. That's not, that's like too small. Hartlepool. Not Wales. Yorkshire. Oh my god, why can I not remember Yorkshire? What the fuck is wrong with me? I'm disappointed in myself. I'm gonna get wood carving partita. This reminds me, we got a lot of, wow, there's a lot of like, what style of music would you call this? Marble Gallery. I'm gonna get, I kind of want to, can we get Dracula's Tears up? Braxis, you grew up in Yorkshire? Oh, cool. We're gonna go, here we go. This is just such a jam. I just keep coming back to it lately. Yeah, okay, let's figure this out, shall we? Stage 1 preliminary, pass first level of assessment. And unassessed. Pass set. Yeah, see, I don't know. Like the level, because I feel like it's, I'm gonna look at something and either, I think there's 3 options. Either, yep, let's do it. Maybe based on these components, I don't know, that would be tentative, or no, no way it's going, right? I think it's because I don't want to overcomplicate it. So I'll say unassessed. We'll put this one, needs further assessments. We'll call this, because like tentative and like need, like so for example, these ones, when I went through them, it's basically like, yeah, maybe, but I have reservations, which is the same thing as like tentative mods, right? So I'm just gonna put, fact, let's just do this. I'm gonna put you over here. I'm gonna call you tentative mods, and then this one, let me look at it and say, yeah, but that would just be tentative to me. You know what I mean? Like that's still tentative. I mean, tentative really just exists to be like, maybe. It's literally just like, maybe, I don't know. And that could be because maybe it's going to be hard to integrate. It could be because I'm actually not sure if this is something that I would like and I would need to test it further. But if it's just maybe for some reason or another, right? Versus, so it's like, yes, no, maybe is, I feel like, a simple way to like keep it not only easy and consistent for me, but also like communicable to people who view this, since this will eventually be public or like easy to find. I guess it's public now, but it's not, we don't link to it anyway. Tentative mod. This one's now going to be, and I suppose if that ends up not working, that structure, why don't we try that for a little bit, and then if there's like an issue with it, I can reorganize it. Yeah, you put it everywhere. I just, not on like the website. I need to put it on there. I've just been lazy and focusing on other stuff, weather permitting. So sorry, the category we're missing now is like, I mean, I guess mods being integrated. It was like approved and awaiting. Call it approved and awaiting, and then mods being integrated would, I guess, be like, I look like a Brexiteer? I hope not. My God. That I mean, believe you me, there's many nuances to English politics that I would not be aware of, but I don't think I would have voted for Brexit personally, which is not a judgment on anyone who did. It's just, you know, I was actually in, did I tell you guys this? I was in Scotland when they had their own like referendum in 2014, and it was like almost like a, well, it's not really Brexit, I guess. I think they were kind of deciding if they still wanted to be part of like the UK or not. I can never remember what's the distinction between the United Kingdom and then, I guess the British Isles probably just refer to what, Wales, and there's like one that's slightly more encompassing and then one that's like slightly less. I can't remember. Skexit. Sorry, where's Sakra's messages I missed? Yes, I love Zelda. I mean, Relics of Hyrule, I always kind of was like, oh, that sounds cool, and I worried about like the lore friendliness, but I don't care that much. I would check it out. Great Britain, Wales, Scotland, England is the UK. Oh, sorry, Great Britain, that's what it was. Great Britain and the UK is Wales, Scotland, England. UK is Great Britain plus Northern Ireland. Interesting. I wonder, maybe this is a weird question. Why even, what's the point of having the distinction between the United Kingdom and then like Great Britain? I mean, I'll check it out then. I do love, did I ever tell you guys the story of my, I'm a big Zelda fan, by the way, like huge Zelda fan. Different island, gotcha. Well, makes sense. I guess, yeah, Scotland is also not an island, is it? For some reason it is in my head, and of course it's not. I drove a bus. I didn't drive a bus, I rode on a bus to it and from it. Yes, plans for precision combat, most definitely. And there's something else I wanted to reply to. Oh, you're in Scotland right now. Hell yeah. I love Scotland. Scotland was so fucking cool. I had a really good time all the way up through England, honestly. I went through, I was like, this is like the tail end of a larger trip. I was with my friends. This was after undergrad, and we had come through like a bunch of Europe, and we went from France to London, and then we were kicking it with our friend who is from London, and then most of my friends went home, and then me and my other two friends, the one from London and my other buddy, we kind of just went up north through England. His aunt has like a house and she lives in Cheltenham, so we like hung out there for a little bit, and then we went up to Manchester, and then that's where our buddy who was from London went back, and then just me and my bro went to Scotland, and we stayed in Glasgow for about a week, and then he went home, and then I went on like the second leg of my trip because they started earlier than I did, and I was solo through. I went back to London, flew to Barcelona, and then went kind of like Barcelona, Nice, Florence, and then kind of through Tuscany, and then down to Rome, and then that's where I flew home from. Oh, my Zelda story. I've told this before. It's a quick one. When I was a kid, I designed a... Okay, before I say this, yeah, why don't you guys guess? You say I'm a Wind Waker guy, right? What's my... In fact, here. This will be fun. I don't know if this is fun or not. Let's do a poll. Any Zelda fans out there? Say... poll. Did I do it? Chat. Question. What's my favorite Zelda? We'll say, what, Ocarina, Majora, Wind Waker, Breath of the Wild. Shit, I need more than 5. Fuck. What's up there? It's not Twilight Princess, I'll tell you that. Other. It's like, yeah, I could have... Wouldn't that be like the biggest troll move to put actually my favorite is an other? Let's see. What other ones? I like Twilight Princess still, and I think there's some stuff that Twilight Princess does amazingly, perhaps better than any of the others, but it's not my favorite. Yeah. Oh, of course. Jesus. Alright. Duration. 2 minutes. Go nuts. They really need to let you have more than 5 poll options. You know what I mean? Yeah, of course. The CDI games. Especially Zelda's Adventure. You know what would be another interesting question is my favorite Castlevania. I'd have to think about that one. Oh yeah. Okay. Approved and awaiting. We'll say... I think that should just be this one. Mods being integrated. Yeah, okay, so Skyward Sword, I actually have not played. I would like to play it. I've wanted to play it for a long time. I'm gonna merge these two, because I feel like there's functionally not that much difference between these two. Yeah, I actually never played... Yeah, I mean, I would have put the fucking Oracle Seasons in Time. Link's Awakening. Link's Awakening is like, I don't know. I love Link's Awakening. Wind Waker's least favorite of 3D. Get the HD. Oh, you're talking about HD version of Wind Waker or Twilight Princess? Ugh, I can't do it, Moon. There's just too... Americans do the fucking shitty English voice thing just way too much. Like, so fucking much. I can't do it. I don't have the heart anymore. The closest I get, sometimes when we're playing games, I'm just like being a dingus. I was like, that's for true. Go on then. Alright, poll's almost up. My favorite, the best is when English people mock American accents. It's way better. I feel like, historically, of course, people who are not American are much better at doing American accents than the inverse. Interesting. Wind Waker was the poll choice. Okay, so that's... For a long time, I actually would have been like, yeah, Wind Waker's my favorite. To be honest with you, I would... If I'm allowed to have a tie, it's a tie between Ocarina and... Majora. If I have to pick one, I might lean slightly Majora, just because the like Ocarina is so amazing, it really is, it's just, you know, it's like the first of its kind, and it's insane. It's like Mario 64 in the sense that it's gnarly how well they nailed the it's gnarly how well they nailed the 3D Zelda, like, right out the gate. Same thing with Mario 64 and its platforming. But I love Majora. I love the vibe. I just love how it's like this darker Zelda. I know that the big, you know, controversial mechanic in Majora is obviously the 3-day kind of time window. I really like it a lot. The Majora is one of the first kind of like living worlds that I feel like I remember experiencing. The Bomber's Notebook and just the schedules for all the NPCs and like all the stuff like that, it just felt so cool. It really felt to me like I was inhabiting a world, you know what I mean? Definitely a formative experience. Yes, absolutely, I agree completely. NPCs and side quests, holy shit. Core, blimey, mate. My accents aren't great. I can tell the difference between an Irish and a Scottish. Yes. Majora's Ocarina with more polish. And just, it's I think it's what happened. I mean, it's crazy that they built it in as short of a time as they did. Oh, I noticed that. Oh, wow. Holy shit. Lizzy, this is great. Amazing. I'll probably put the red over here. Okay, question for you. Do you think we need, because this mod's being integrated, one, I've noticed it's more of like a like I have a hard time keeping it reconciled with the Jira, and I'm almost like, what if we just have approved and awaiting, and then when I've cleared it on Jira and we've integrated it, I can just change them from here and put them in added mods, because I find that having to maintain the Trello and the Jira in tandem has been kind of difficult. Oh, they have descriptions? Yeah, so like Breath of the Wild mechanically, I think Breath of the Wild is, to me, it's a return to form for like Zelda 1, right? It's like the most freeform. I mean, I don't need to sing Breath of the Wild's praises. We all know it's amazing. I love Majora. Ocarina it's right up there. I really love Wind Waker as well, and Wind Waker is funny because I actually prefer, there's quality of life improvements that are in the HD version that are like good, great, even from a gameplay standpoint. I don't like the bloom in Wind Waker HD. I think sometimes it's alright, sometimes it's cool, but most of the time, nah. It's just so blah, like it's blah. And the cut, like, you're talking about one of the best art design in a cel-shaded game ever, the OG Wind Waker. The colors are amazing. The art direction is amazing. Wind Waker HD, you know, the improvements they made are really cool. Some of the visuals and the gameplay improvements. The bloom. Like, let me tone it down. Or like, what the fuck? Like, ugh. Not great. But yeah, so anyway, here's the story that prompted all this. Ocarina is a very formative game for me. I love Ocarina very much. And when I was a kid, my uncle was a jeweler, and he asked me for a gift one year for my birthday. He wanted me to design a ring, and so I designed the ring. It looks like this. It's has my initials on it, which in retrospect is kind of self-aggrandizing. I don't know if you can see that. But, you know, it's my ring. It's got my initials. Apparently, I put them on everything. There's 6 gems. There's an emerald, a ruby, excuse me, a sapphire, an amethyst, a citrine, and a diamond. And for those of you who don't know those gems, that core is green, red, blue, purple, yellow, and clear. So this is obviously analogous to the forest, fire, water, shadow, spirit, and time temples, right? And this was my Zelda ring. I wore this ring for a very, very, very long time, all the way up through college. And senior year of college, I had taken it off for a party that we threw. someone went into my bathroom and managed to find it and stole it. That sucked. I was like, what the hell? Big bummer. What are you gonna do? Also stupid of me to put it there probably to begin with, but you know, it is what it is. And yeah, so that was just like how it went. And when I started dating Liz, who is my now wife, not this Lizzy, that's confusing, but my wife Liz, when we first started dating, she basically conspired with my uncle to replicate this ring. I had told her about it and, you know, how it got stolen. And so her gift to me, I believe for my 26th or 27th birthday, was this ring, which is the one that you see today. And I always have it. These are the two most valuable things that I own. The things that matter most to me in the whole world, objects, are rings. The two rings that I wear. It's my wedding ring, and this is my Zelda ring that my wife got me. No, I did not get the original back, unfortunately. Someone's got it somewhere, or maybe they took it to whatever the jewelry equivalent of a chop shop is. Let me show you the other thing, another object that I am very happy about, that I like. Give me 2 seconds. Here, this is a testament to how much I love Ocarina. Check it out. Well, glare. Wait, no, here. There we go. I'm gonna tilt it. There it is. This is my Hylian shield. This is something actually that my uncle had a friend make, who is evidently a metal worker. Like, this thing's fucking solid. And it's very obviously the Ocarina Hylian shield design, and I really like it a lot. This is a big favorite of mine. I got all kinds of weirdo trinkets and objects in here that are important to me, but I would say that this is a big one. I just really like it a lot. I think it's cool. It's got a little thing in the back. And then yeah, these are obviously on another level, I'll say. Oh. Whoops. Ow. Stay. Ow, shit. I think I overextended my knee. What time is it? 3:05? Okay, I got a little bit of time left, then I gotta do some freelance. Wow, look how many mods we've gotten through. You know what I mean? Real question, which game has the best Hylian shield design? Yeah, probably Twilight Princess, to be honest. I'm also quite partial to the original shield design from, well, I guess not technically original. That'd be Zelda 1. But Link to the Past shield, I like a lot. Yeah, Ocarina's nuts. It's just fucking crazy. It's like, it's nuts. Yeah, I don't have a Master Sword, unfortunately. Just chatting stream. Yes, of course. Okay, so I have a question for Lizzy. Oh, you already said not doing much mod assessment. You were absolutely right. Oi, oi, oi. Mods which failed assessments, mods which are live, mods being integrated for the current build. Yeah, okay, I think we can do this, and I'll just, it is important to, I guess, have, because then people can see it's like, oh, this is what I can, like, effectively, this is what I'm waiting for, like, in the next version. So, okay, I want to have that category then. Straight up, though, I'll probably keep connecting them to the JIRAs. Mods approved for inclusion in a future build. Dylan's suggestions. Cool. Perfect. Awesome. Thank you very much, Lizzy. Much appreciated. I didn't know. How did you do this? Oh, it's just the card and then the cover changes the background. Does that work? So I can just do that for any of these, I guess. I'm not going to now, because that's a cover. Beep. Oh, wait. What? How are these ones somethings? Am I crazy here? Get rid of the cover. Remove cover. Oh, I see. Cool. All right. Okay. All right, Trello. I see you. Show cleavage for extra subs. Of course. All right, well, let's get a couple different, what's it called in here, right? Because then we can't call it a mod evaluation stream. Okay, quiet dog. Dog barking constantly. Yeah. That is really annoying. Quiet dog. Reduces dog. I feel like there's another mod for this. Dog can only bark. Hold on a second. Hold on just a darn tootin' minute here. Excuse me. Wow. Yeah, Praxis. That is awesome. Oh, Rebellion and Yamato. Is that... Wait, which is the... was that the name of his sword? What's Dante's sword in... Like his OG sword in the original Devil May Cry? I fucking love that game. Hold on, I'm going to put this over here. Because, again, you never know what you're going to search on the Nexus and what's going to pop up. Yeah, okay. This is, I think, what I was thinking of. Wow, this this cute dog mods here. Dog backpacks. Look at this. This poor bud. No. Rescue dog. Force Edge. That's right. That sounds familiar. I'm still nervous to scroll here, but this is what I was thinking of. Conditional dog barking. Show what dogs are silent, what dogs bark, blah, 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 blah. Customizable alternative quiet dog animation replacer mod. Make sure you don't use them on the same timeline, or blah. Cool. My simple mod, you can just disable or reduce frequency of barking for your current dog followers and keep it all for the other dogs. What? Wait a second. This seems confusing, why it's doing some of this stuff. Oh, gotcha, Lizzy. I will check if I go with this one. Customizable. If you don't use this mod, unlike with original, with this mod, certain types of barking won't be forever rendered out of existence. My mod, you can just disable or reduce frequency of barking from your current dog followers, keep it for all the other dogs. Especially useful with bandit-owned dogs. You'll be able to hear, you left your canine. Okay, well, I mean, if it's like hella customizable. Is there any... Does it show conditional dog barking? What the customization is? Canine custom conditions, combat bark silence, auto combat. I mean, I guess my only concern here is that I don't necessarily want the dog that I left waiting to like bark. But I'm sure I can adjust that. So why don't we... This just basically looks like a more fully featured version. I'm going to say activity. Because of newer, more customizable alternative conditional dog barking. Has not been suggested. Alright, I'm on it. Let's do it. I don't have to suggest through the Discord, do I? Is that okay? I guess if I do it in my category, we'll say add card. We're going to call it conditional dog barking. And we're going to open this up. We're going to go labels, I guess immersion, audio. My category, audio sounds. We can call it gameplay as well, why not? And we're going to get the link. There, say alternative to quiet dog. Adds, let's say enables, disables barking based on the animation conditions. Likely disabled dog bark when waiting, but otherwise seems configured around the box. So save, and we're gonna put this in approved and awaiting. Cool. Gotcha. Thank you, Lizzy. Why don't bandits have attack dogs? Yeah, good question. I feel like sometimes they do. Trello Gamer. I'm growing my skills at Trello. All right, y'all. I do have to go pretty quick here. Let's get one more in. I'm gonna have to go at 3:15, so I've got some freelance I gotta finish up. But hey, I hope it's been a fun stream. I've had a really good time. Sorry we didn't get through more mod suggestions. One of these streams, when we just don't have any features to show off, I'll do like a bunch of these, and we can kind of crank through. Dog backpacks and more. Adding more usability for... Oh, okay. I mean, I'm sorry. It's just too cute. Backpacks for dogs. Backpacks can be a tanning rack. Blah, blah, blah. Hell yeah. Yes, sir. You know it. All right. Cool. I mean, it looks good to me. I can't see anything here that, Let me look at these images. Just give him like a little bit of stuff, you know? It's like tactical. It's like, what's the name of your dog from Metal Gear Solid 5? I think that is JJ. Alistair. Dog Lantern. Alright, cool. You know what? One more. We're gonna get one more in there. Say, dog backpacks. Oh, here's what I need to do. Little... Here, I'm giving you guys a little sneak preview. I'm not gonna say anything. Say, with new follower shared weight mechanics, but otherwise looks. But no, that's my problem, not the mods. Boom, baby. Approved and awaiting. One more. All right, here we go. Oh, security overhaul, SKSE. Well, okay, this one we get 2 for 1. Some more locks. Love it. Sometimes I don't like when they put these, like, extra, like, Celtic symbols around everything, right? Because I'm like, I kind of, like, this one's okay. It's a lockbox. I like that model a lot, actually. Oh, 4 suggestions for security overhaul, huh? Oh, cool. Look at all these. Whatever. I mean, it's cool. Why don't we just do this then? We'll search security overhaul. View all. Wow. Wait, what? Is this search like new? View hours, or is this? It's only these 5. I didn't used to look like this, did it? Okay. Well, it's only the 5, and then I don't need this extra page. It's not new. I swear that it used to be when I would search. There are like I thought it would display differently. I would keep having to like show more cards, show more cards. I swear it's a little different now. But I could be wrong. I'm far from the expert when it comes to Trello, that's for sure. Okay, one more time. We're gonna go lock variations, unique marker outdoor security overhaul. Yeah. Alright, cool. We'll start here. It would make the world more immersive. You know it. I mean, oh no, this is add-on? Oh, it's add-ons. Do we have like legit regular security overhaul in here? Add-ons, some more locks, lock variations, or is this the core one? No, that's the one we just looked at. It's on there? Am I missing it? Oh, lock variations. I understand. Some more locks. Wait, am I stupid? Am I not seeing it here? Shouldn't say stupid. Am I missing this? Yeah, Kingdom Come Deliverance is rad. Like, unless I'm missing regional locks, security lock variations. That's what we just looked at. Where'd it go? Lock vari. Oh, okay. Well, all right. Evidently, I missed it. All right, so we're gonna take this one. It's just like I guess I thought that was one of the other variants mod. Oh, this is hold on, OST. Let's see here. We're gonna get a banger for the last song that we're listening to, or probably the last song. Hold on, is it Empty Tone? What's the best ones? This is the scary. An Empty Tone. Okay, I think this is it. Oh yeah, this one's rad. All right, let's bump it. There we go. Okay, these are annoying. We got here. We need. Oh, Trello, please. Regional locks. I think regional locks might be on there. Okay. Again, once more into the breach. Okay, add-on security overhaul, lock variations. Here we go. This one is just, yeah, let's put it in there. Just say, might want to edit that one sus, what is it? Chorus lock or Falmer lock. Unless that's already, is that gone? This one. I'm like, This is great though. This is Power of 3 and Wanking Skeever. 2 legends. Otherwise, Gucci. Save, and then we'll move this to board. No, list. Approved and awaiting. Move. And now more. Security overhaul. I don't know why this was like so confusing to me. Something about the way it was like listed out, I guess. Also, I'm tired. I need to eat. I'm hungry. Security, some more locks. I wish I could just like open them all up. Like, I don't know. Whatever. This is fine. Let's see here. Yeah, this is the one we just looked at, right? Sure, looks good to me. See, like some of these, it's kind of like, why is there a weird spiral there? You know what I mean? Like, it's better than, you know, nothing. So why not? But like, see, this is the kind of stuff where it's like, no, I don't want a stretched Celtic symbol that's very obviously not metal, like, across the handle. You know what I mean? And you could always just, like, go and edit the NIF, I guess, the mesh, to not use that. But, you know, it is what it is. Or like this, where it's like, I swear to God, sometimes people in their Skyrim, oh, and even the carpet, it's like, Celtic frame everywhere. It's Skyrim. It's Nordic. Oh yeah, this one, like, Celtic. I'm just like, guys, like, please relax on the Celtic. Like, come on. You know what I mean? But yeah, sure. Actually, I'm going to take this one and I'm going to say, here's what I'm going to say. There's a lot of Celtic going on here, which is the only reason I may not include it. However, probably cooler to just have it in there. Yeah, it's like, oh yes, it's you're talking about Aldernari? That's Sovin's list, or Zelly. In fact, you know what? There's a lot of Celtic going on here that I find kind of immersion breaking. So we're gonna say, I almost just want to deny it, but like, oh, where'd it go? What? Can I like jump to that card at least? Like, ugh. Trello. Like, take me to the card. Was it this one? Because now I don't remember. Oh, I guess it's one of these. Yeah, okay. We're gonna move this to, like, take me to the card. I just want to drag and drop it. Move. Is there like a jump to button or something? We're gonna move this to, Oh, really? We're gonna put this in tentative. Did it go? Move. No, tentative. Move. Why do I have to confirm the move? Oh, yeah. I'm very particular about UI things, I guess. Maybe I'm just getting hangry. Kelly going on here that I find kind of immersion breaking. Strong, maybe. Likely, no. And then we're gonna go security overhaul again. I guess this is my own fault for trying to do it through search. Unassessed. Regional locks. How about you? I at least like that when you click the links, it opens up in a new tab. Jira doesn't do that, and everyone is like, what the hell? Add-ons, let's see, images. Regional's cool. What? Some of these are just like why? You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, I think it's cool, but it's like, why would they ever make this? Like, why would there be like a gem there? What's that for? Is it lighting up the lock where so you can see the lock go in, or is the gem some and like, or like this one, it's like, okay, so what is it? That's what on the left you've got a what's it called, a combo lock, and then here there's a regular lock, but then you turn it, like, what? You know what I mean? Like, the textures, the quality of the models is like fantastic, don't get me wrong, it's great from like a modeling perspective, but for me this is the kind of thing where I'm just like, I don't think so. It's got to make sense, you know what I mean? Because like when I see this, the first thing I think is like, this makes no sense at all. Look, is it a combo lock? Is it a dial lock? Or is it a key lock? It's not all three. You know what I mean? Like, this one's fine. There's a knock there, and like, yeah, we have like those door, like, that's great. This one too, a little knocker, no sweat. Cool. Handle, great. Yeah. Well, here's the thing. I suppose I can always... Here's... Okay. Okay, so here's what we're gonna... So some of these are really high quality. What we can do with... Where's the other one? I'm gonna look at this one again. Replacer patch. Here's what I can do. Yeah, I just add some of them. Look at the video. The last image is a video. This one. Oh my god. So again, so it's really cool that they did this, you know what I mean? Like, it's great quality work. Just some of it, yeah, like lock and then open. I don't really know why anyone would build that. Yeah, okay, well here's, that's, I didn't stop to consider this either. Say, likely, yes, as there's a lot of quality models in here. However, some will likely need swapping. Alright, so we're gonna put this in approved and awaiting, and then maybe I'm being too harsh on this other one, the denied. Where is it at? No, is it in tentative? Where's oh, tentative's over here. I gotta reorganize these, but whatever, we'll just put it here for now. Like when the vampire, security overhaul. Is there like, because like I really like that model. I know it's still got like a little bit of Celtic going on, and preferably I can always edit that too to get rid of it. Just require hard skill check. Yeah, I mean I can understand that, but it's like with this one. How about this? I'm gonna say say some quality models for sure, but also a lot of Celtic. Kind of found immersion breaking, tentative, and we need model swapping. Alright, sweet. Nords with Disabilities Act. We got add-ons and unique mark art doors. What? Why? I actually kind of like the original design of these. I like this design more. The before. Okay, I'm gonna say another yes. There you go. Because actually prefer the OG mark art door model, so no need. And move to denied. Wow, look how many we're doing. It's only taking me 15 more minutes. No, we did that one already. Oops. Now I have a million different windows open here. Fresh. Get out of here. All of you. I don't know which one is which. They're also similarly titled. Security overhaul. Tentative, denied, unassessed. This is the last one. Add-ons. Images. Wanking Skeever. That one's fun. I mean, there's some Celtic there, but that at least, it's like tasteful. You know what I mean? That one looks like it fits. What is this for? Call that one a maybe. I would, oh, wow, look at this. I would love to do VR. I just don't really know what's required. Oh, cool, look, they added like a little rope. This one's, oh, because it's a trap. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, not on board with that. That's cute as well. Something that's underwater. Okay. Oh, wow. I mean, look at the way it rotates. Yeah, we'll say, whoa. Cool animation. Yeah, alright. So, that one, here's what we'll do. More quality models alongside some that would need to be skipped, but still add is what I'm going to say for this one. Like, I like that one more, still. Approved and awaiting. Yeah, okay. And that's it, right, for the security overhaul. I did not know there was, I didn't know there was so many variations of these things. All right, cool, we did it. How about that? Five whole suggestions instead of one. 5 for the price of 1. All right, y'all, that's gonna be it for me. Thank you so much for hanging out. I hope you enjoyed the stream content today. I hope you enjoy the features that we show off. No, not one more. I'm already 15 minutes late for my hard stop. I got work that I gotta get done, unfortunately. Gotta bring home that bacon, you know what I mean? Thank you so much for joining me. Of course, as always, if you have any questions, please hit us up. You know where to find us. We're on Discord, snail mail, carrier pigeon, smoke signals, Morse code, what are they, telegraph. You know how to get at us. Let's go ahead and see who is streaming. Oh, shit. Oh, Neb. Okay, well, it's got to be our boy Neb. He's playing Skyrim. You want some more Skyrim content? Please stick around. Check out our boy Nabursky. Super, super sweet. I actually met Nabursky through Sacriletius. So very, you know, Neb's the best. And it looks like he's playing Skyrim. He plays a lot of RPG content. Oh, he's playing Enderall. Hell yeah. That's a nice kind of change of pace. All right, y'all. Let's get this raid going. Raid Nabursky. I hope I spelled that right. I think I did. Yes, perfect. Did I? Yes, I did. Hey, I can spell sometimes when I feel like it. Yep, well, I will be here. I mean, I should be here same time next week. I'll be showing off whatever we manage to get done between then and there. Hopefully, we don't get anything interesting done. and that way we can just spend all of our time going through the mods. You know what I mean? We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I really appreciate it, y'all, and I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and please stay safe. Take care of yourselves. I will see you next week, alright? Goodbye. Goodbye, everybody. Bye, VOD watchers.